This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
My sama mu nyina kwa ba mfa mbra Boadu TV so na awia we ni hu se sami ka se bullion van o se den van bi a eye blue bi hu se o ma park de si ho na enchiremu no ne dia manfo kan ya ka ventilasi so ene se sa van no esi airport eye Kotoka International Airport de wo mu eye gold sika kokko egudie ene wo sava no mu a NPP aban do te dwa so na na do dan kwaku fa do Ghana mampanye ne busuafo bi ede gold no figure na akọ abrochire. Yes, information a van no ana isi wo no Kevin Taylor de to ase no na waba bisi so dua ama full details of van no sika kokko na ewo mu eye gold ewo ma omode kwa abrochire. We no so sinchen ya abeto dwa se Kevin Taylor be friend osono maame maame tokonu a wo chief justice ensemi na montin so se ye petition na na do dan kwakufa do se onyi no efi ho eno so Kevin abomu e de amaye Kevin de onimi se o de na de asem. Oh yes, we leak information rather ntina me penasem no we leak egoze ya as a petro gufo no etrekosa.
This afternoon we posted a picture on Facebook. Yakacham said there's a car, there's a van. This van, no, this is 8 hours ago. This morning, no, we posted a picture of a van. Yakacham said information coming in indicates this van is full of gold, about to be transported to Dubai on Emirates Airline by the Kufuor family. Yeah, they saw a picture we ever to social media this morning, and we made you understand to say this is something that is ongoing. In fact, I made my team go down to check this van number plate, no, and what they came out with, and they say the van belongs to a PMMC. Now Yamamuhu the airline omode sa carway gold egumuno omode echo Dubai. No, we made you aware. I think an hour later, any update team or Facebook say, oh, car no edru Kotoka International Airport. Our guys are still following this car. That was 6 hours. The first one was 6 hours, 8 hours. So 2 hours later, no, and Betcham said the van carrying the gold is now at the airport. More to follow. So that was the van. Na ekuta carry gold, no. Na do dan kweku for the bushia for thousands and thousands of gold. Omanane ediegu car mu a omode ko airport ediako Dubai. Now, the breaking news coming in said the car, the police, they have been able to arrest that car. Now, what is happening? They say, yes, police for no at the car call the Greater Accra Regional Police Office. Now, the breaking news coming in say people went in there, the car was intercepted, and truly, no, the gold, gold that Ghana for the Duomu be there. The catcher man upon said they could for the government, they could for the Bussian for we know. They are still stealing you people. The gold for oil na baumia, sa gold way ya china baumia munim hubi. A gold for oil PMMC, me catch them say PMMC. Sa akwano dawana na bog se krabano. Sa da kun o tadi no. Sa akwano. They are the ones gold for oil no the buy no. Omo be wia Ghana goes. Now these are the videos coming in. Mommy and share the gold no. Ghana for Achikano.
Imagine the compatibility.
So gold bars, no, gold bars. I don't know who is on a gold bars in Guam. And they see the car, no, any gold, no, they call Accra Regional Police Headquarters on board. Sanko for a boni omudi dimuno. It is not a joke. And as we speak today, that is why they are still planning on killing John Mahama. They still want to kill John Mahama. They are seriously doing it physically and spiritually. They are still bent on killing John Mahama and Nana because they don't want to hand over power to John Mahama. Nana the Dankwe Kufuor, he knows. They have committed so much crime. They have done a lot Nkofo free power 7 January. Adia mu be hu Ghana no. Wan hwa meka se John Mahama di president 20 years. Me na meka kire. Me say Ada na do dan Kwaku Fuado ne nebusuafo be free power no. Wan hwa meka se NDC for ndi Ghana so 30 years. You people be shocked. Where raw gold. Where raw gold. And it's almost 7 sassy. Chema untumi ne ebu sassy go almost blasty. They don't care because this is what they were looking at. But when you gold for oil, no, this is what they were doing. And Ghana gold na almost sense us because they had a plan. So gold so that car, they have arrested the car. And you through a video. Say as we speak, you know, Sir Gold, we are following it. I have sources at the police headquarters. The police CID, she's very political. MPP. The CID boss, or a typical MPP. KK Sapon girlfriend, no, say SK Sapon, the KK Sapon. The girlfriend, no. This one, I am watching her closely. And I have sources at the Ghana police. Nobody can change this gold and come tell us, say, your gold. And then no. People, I was saying, go for jail. I was saying, I didn't go for tomb for years. And in Ghana, for this is the time we all need to come together. Krono and Kofo we abono. Krono and Kofo we abo ewa Ghana no. It is not a joke. They see you people somewhere Jimmy. It is a Obikacho say. Ekufuado he. Gold for oil. I make sure from the top be a free buy. Nipa or stati illegal gold export ewa Ghana. Gold and diamond Kusibuatin. So from friend Kusibuatin, yeah. Kusibuatin a freba will me no catch and gold for oil no or children how it works. See, gold for oil, but umia na otiwana Kusibuatin because Kusibuatin why gold smuggling, diamond smuggling for years. That is the Jumano no on your software. Go to Zimbabwe and ask. Kusibuatin or concession in Zimbabwe. A whole of Tony gold in the fa, the diamond in the fa. Kusibuatin a freba umia trans say our idea be a friend gold for oil. And that gold for oil no will change our life. Ghana will make about 2%, but they are going to make the 98%. It's gold for oil, no idea no dema baumia. And about me catch so or the idea be about gold for oil. Ebema petrol buako form. Ebema Ghana yeka edin you betu metua. You see gold for oil. You see Ghana you need dollars. And you see you betu the gold either out of petrol. You betu the gold out of diesel. You need dollars. It's inka on a normal day. See any minyansa you tam gold na hen you to gold nyina papa. Enye New York. New York. Ena the New York Stock Exchange. Ene the gold bullion de enye New York na wo. Adenti na yen tam you gold no emfanko New York. Your US embassy in Ghana. Why don't we coordinate with them and say we don't have enough reserves. We have a lot of gold. We want you people to collaborate with us. We want to sell the gold in the United States to the market. Gold does not depreciate overnight. The US embassy in Ghana could have collaborated with the government and then linked us for us to sell the gold and take dollars from America legitimately to bring the dollars to Ghana to go and buy the diesel and the petrol. And so gold for oil, no? Almost say, ma PMMC to me, iti bawo mi amu instructe Addison. Say on tam Ghana sikana dahono. Now on from a PMMC. PMMC for no beko into the market to buy gold. PMMC for no millions of dollars, no, close over billions, no. And now be a small buying platforms. And that's how a webinar or the PMMC, no. Almost started to talk gold, no. Now in Kofono mo yet legitimate small scale mining, any illegal small scale mining, no. Omo who said there's so much demand for gold. Now omo no mo yet legitimate small scale mining, no. What happened? And they say omo yet legitimate mining, no. Now amount for no mo yet illegal mining, no. And making more money than omo mo yet legitimate mining. Omo person mo boss assassin ho buying. Omo person mo protect Ghana assassin. Omo who say illegal miners no chairman won't too many MPP for no. Omo say assassin omo nyesika gold price is so cost. So some of the legitimate gold miners, and I say, small scale miners are legitimate, you know, almost do jimu. Because one, they have taken a license to do what to mine legitimately, and now to become legitimate licensed small scale miners. what they were doing is some of the small scale miners no jimu. And under the license of small scale mining legitimately, they were doing illegal mining. And a balloon the pollution of our waters. It is almost study from May 2024 and I used to start to say more. We could not control it. They are willing to dig more, destroy more, to give that gold to PMMC, to send to Bank of Ghana, to give that gold to a third party. It's near Tia and I'm going to go to the Bank of Ghana because the constitution, Yambrana say Bank of Ghana ain't to me to gold. But Bank of Ghana bet to Yama PMMC to gold. Into Baumia Addison said, all my PMMC for Sika, PMMC for the Sika and about maybe companies. And I'm gold buying companies. And almost started to gold, Into that gold price, now it was in demand. Into a lot of people went to Galamsey. Into after destroying the waters, no a lot of gold. Omunya gold in the year, and I'm say, instead say and Saka gold and cause Toma US for New York and now France near dollars above say that be the raw gold in Emma Dubai, Nibi man, they are called Dubai. And they are cost oil. Tie. I feel what you say. What they wanted to do now gold in the Hiomo. It wasn't to save your economy. In terms of gold, and I'm say, oh, the old man say, the raw gold in a third party. Alpha Stream. A scandal on the chemo. A third party be a friend Alpha Stream. A Lebanese guy be Baomia Munipa. Now what happened is tam gold, and them Alpha Stream. And I'm say Alpha Stream the gold when I got oil bra. A brand came to go down America for a ton legitimately at $, because in the first place, the reason why I go for oil buying is $80. America for $80. Almost net to gold. I didn't see any raw gold. Emma Arabia so Uncle Dubai and Franco diesel and your time gold in the Alpha Stream. Alpha Stream coin and obtain share. Obtain share we no and a koto oil boka oil. O we no the oil ne breye. And now we no the PMMC for no anybody umiam ko echiro mko chair in faswo no. At the end of the day they have used this country. E kusi boating yes asofo no or no and this plan buy. You got what I mean? Inti omo ena ekofa sa plan no ena mo de bedi moto. So sa gold na a cash system ni mo a lot of gold. It is abukọ eye baby a ye mine gold na. Mumbusa mo say na di ni see ente say na amount for because the demand for gold was high. Omo introduce gold for oil no ena demand ne cost ro ena the destruction of our water bodies no e picky. And everybody was surprised na yede na say the yenso ni nyina say no it was because chema wuntumi mu no because bawumia mo no omo plan. The plan was to destroy the waters, destroy the vegetation and get the gold, and that is what you are seeing. Into saka we na gold gumisa no right now no osamuti ase say so what to gold or Ghana na so de kosa okoton abrocha abrofun bebusa say gold no e kwan be so na 2 year child labor issues woman na okofa ankora bi no 2 year ofa akuti kwan so na 2 year. There are a lot of questions you need to answer before your gold will be bought in the international market. Now TRCS gold for oil we no all the gold na PMMC Kotoka in Krasia or mobile companies no they were buying gold from illegal miners. Now the issue is the gold no motor and they cannot take it outside because they cannot answer where the gold is coming from. Chema won't to me Galamsey. Sampan ye Galamsey. Kedjefo ye Galamsey. Kojo Ponkroma ye Galamsey. Professor Frimpong Boating eba the document say Lord come munya ye Galamsey Kufuor say ofan kwasi anko. It is our gold and they could not sell it. So what they had to do, and they say, because the gold they could not sell it internationally, and anything the Alpha Stream say, the raw gold in the because a Galamsey gold. Alpha Stream so kwa no akoto petro buka petro fumi no the bust. Na ba omiani kusi boatimo omache. And then they bedru hande. It is all raw gold say a yes ship dia kwa a Kufuor do ba omiamo dia. A chema won't me gold, where a blood gold. Bronibian wabeto. Yeah, this gold, Bronibian wabeto. Majority of Chinese from to gold or Ghana. MPP for no a guardian of Togo and Burkina Faso, a honor ship of gold, no they call. Yeah, they cannot do it here. You know why? Because gold, a blood gold. It's majority of gold dealers are Chinese for Arabians, na India for no. They don't sell their gold through a PMMCO. No, they go through a Burkina, they go through a Togo, they go through a Benin. That is where they sell, because the gold is blood gold. A gold that won't mean turn on international market. So a bin and the machina, they are counting from bullions, no.
Imagine the comfortability.
These are Ghana money. Ghana money. They spoil our water. Ghana money. Oh, Ghana money.
Why this man the fact that he invests?
That will be 72.
This police officer, his name is DCOP Mr. Ahin Kwesi Ano. Ghana for gold number they call Accra Regional Police Headquarters. The Bako Kura hold this man accountable. Gold now machina na adwino. Say ehun tu tokuro. Say obia the false information ba about the gold. Ask this man. Ono na gold nation nsa. Say the gold no call the Accra Regional Headquarters. Gold no ba kumpo yira. So the any different report ba. I have men at the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. I have men there. This is the man in charge, DCOP, or your friend Akwesi Ano. Say gold in the back, the next government should hold this man accountable. So it is your job to keep this gold for us to get to the bottom of this crime. I will come back to this matter. My shadow na middle picture too, because I know what I have heard. I know the conversation I've heard, and I know the text messages I've intercepted. They say DCOP, you are in charge for now. May accuse you of anything. Say gold way back. Say amount for your margin say they are going to swap anything. They are going to change anything, and they consider say your retirement will be in your grave. Consider your retirement. Say it's going to be in your grave, because what is happening? We know more than what you think we know. It's media. I am not going to accuse you of anything. I am not going to show anything today. I am just going to send this caution to you. Say, protect the law. You are a police officer, a DCOP. Gold near the about or facility. No, let it be the same gold. That is all I can say to you. Breaking news: a year MPP Ashanti Regional, a year communicator Bakwa, Udi MPP nim, Ashanti Region, a year the Ashanti Regional Chief Imam. He's dead. That is the news we are getting in. This is the Ashanti Regional Imam. Chief Communicator Ma Ekufuado ne Baumia. All the sins Baumia was committing and this government was committing, no, this man did not see anything wrong with it. With me, I'm not in the position to judge any man. Nyankopon Allah enenim ni pebia how he would judge that person. It is not up to me. My job here is to tell you, say the Ashanti Regional Chief Imam, this man we all know as an MPP communicator, is dead. We don't know the cause of his death. We don't know what actually happened, but that is the news coming in. I am a human being. I'll also die. I will be before my creator. Today we are just putting the news out. He will be before his creator and he will answer a question to his creator. It is not my job. I am not pure enough to judge any man after his death. If he was alive, I could have spoken and said my mind to him. But dead men can't defend themselves. And it's only between him and his God. So we are not supposed to play the role of God. We are supposed to be the servants of God. We cannot be judges. But what we can do is we can announce to the world that this man who played a vital role for the MPP campaign in the Ashanti region, the Ashanti Regional Chief Imam, has died. Yes, sorry, and then you the breaking news in the say, the Chief Justice, President Ekufuado, petitioned to remove Chief Justice from office. Obi a petition another than Ekufuado, Professor Kweku Asare, oye Ghana ni oye professor or the petitioner command Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Na petition no or see ye chief justice in free ho. If you say chief justice wabo brabia sa bra no etia Ghana sebio ye mra ebo sebio oman ho bra eye ye constitution no ene mra ebo eye judiciary eye sebio eye omo a omubu nsem a chief justice eda no ewo eye de Ghana no na nsem na eye abranti a Chokome Akufo-Addo say Ghana man ho kwan ena Ghana constitution man ho kwan say se yetu ye nsa anase yeyi obi president tu obi se ondi dwuma bi ema Ghana na nipa no wan misconduct no ho anase dwuma de na wodi no wan di no kwan a also di so no obu mra so a Ghana for as citizens no you're right to see Abekacha president say nipa we die sebio nyoma we ni na waye a e kire say edwuma odoma no we bu Ghana mra so ebu yedim tia ema mra na we bu sininti ehia se nipa no betena eye ne office samukaya time Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo eba office in 2017 anche ena mrantie bi e kire krata akoma Akufo-Addo say eye Madam Charlotte say a oye the EC boss no sebio Ghana mra no ma eye Ghana for to me say omo nkyere krata emra president na omo fama to nanim say sebio eye nipa ye friend Madam Charlotte say no sebio time na oye EC boss no nyoma bi wo ho a oye ya amfa kwan mu a na etia mra enti Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo enhwe saa nyoma no ngina so na onfa saa eye nsem no enkyere eye Council of State na the Chair Council of State wi a ombie committee na committee no agitum say Charlotte say an conducting hu ya o se atwena so saa emra no ena Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo edi so mampanyini a odi yi eye Charlotte say efri Electoral Commission ene obi atwero eye petition de akwa eye Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo oda ho the same president na krata na otwero no otwero e de epo ana points ana inginaso enyina hye mu kire Akufo-Addo say wenti ena ende me ka kire wo say eye Madam Tokonu no pamono as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Now mama yanko kan krata no de ewom said the buyer or China Kwasi bi embetena wuntimi TV. Jimmy Phobia and Hokanka bi mbetena Peace FM. Sebio eye political go to be embetena baby embetum futuro ngumani. We eye dwumadia ye di e de ayeden ama Ghana for ehu nokura ye de kyekere man. Now krata no mebie so ha if you say a does ye eye 19 pages. So I will take my time and read the 19 pages to eye Ghana for. Now krata no offer eye krata fan e dey nim eye the first page. Hey ende. Obi anya ready na ye bedwudwam 19 pages ye kɔ ye pon ane apon. Now ohwe eye krata no so a omatro 17 December 2024. In fact, this is a public document. Okwa abontini a ewo ho obia obetumi akan. Eye 17 December 2024. Now Mr. President office no omo receive eye sa krata we eye Ghana time 4:33 p.m. Reception no nipa na oje krata no the number that's here 0244194142 or no ena sebio or reception ha krata no kusi ni so the dindi Joseph Kobena Wuba or no energy krata no sign ye ka say yaje ye dey come president inti sia na me no ka say sa petition no e Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo table so na krata na nkasa o kan a de wom nie brofo no nie me wi ana medwudwam nipa sebio o petition Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ana MPP aban we no nipa ye frɛ no eye I'm in the picture to so your friend Mr. and as a Professor Stephen Kweku Asare Onye or your Ghana ni mapa or your professor or your Ghana ni or such idea our America or Ghana Sati America what truck krata we or your Ghana ni embra a man who kwan se ono so ede na no asem ene ngina so a owo ede betu Akufo-Addo nim se ontu ho anamo nti eye abrantie ana papa yi a ye friend of Professor Stephen Kweku Asare ono ene chro krata we ede koma Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo a o se yendi hu dwuma if you say na eye Chief Justice Madam Tokonu abobra bi a brano eni se otena office say Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Now mama menko eye krata dim na medwum ahanko na obehu saade we uhu bi obebi abiem omo amaka nyina omo read caption a kire no motwa wotro eni ntina me se nya abotre me na wo kan brofo na medwum. All right, team. And somebody is drawing my attention to something. The petition was written on the 17th, but the person who received the petition received it on the 16th. So the petition was received before it was written. But we will deal with that matter. Let's look at what is in the petition. The petition was written on the 17th of December 2024. But Nipana or receive petition or Jubilee House no date is 16th of December 2024. So it means somebody is being diabolic in the Jubilee House. From what we are seeing on the petition, that means the petition was received before it was written. But we will get to that part. We will break it down. Thank you very much, team. Now, petition the woman or say 17 December 2024. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Jubilee House, Accra. Dear Mr. President, petition for the removal of the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Her Ladyship Gertrude Saki Tokonu, CJ, pursuant to the provisions of Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Assembly no anase caption no anani tipo no kire say or say sakrata or trabre krata ogina Ghana the constitution so de akire nana de danko kufu de Ghana nyina say mbra no hye ne keten say sebio the constitution aka no sa petition anase asem od betu anim no ogina Ghana constitution so na ode kire sakrata na bre kufu ado enti enye say ne pe wahwe constitution no wahwe mbra no na ogina so de akire krata no de ama de Ghana say nana de danko kufu ado ontu ho anamon. Sorry guys, I beg you, don't distract me. I'm not talking to my team. People calling my phone. Introduction a petition page 1 or say, I, Professor Stephen Kweku Asare, a citizen of the Republic of Ghana, respectfully submit this petition to Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, seeking the removal of Her Ladyship Gertrude Saki Tokonu, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, on grounds of or say or no I a friend no Stephen Kweku Asare. Oye Ghana ni mapano or krata we e de brand another dan kweku for say Chief Justice another dan Chief Justice Madam Tokonu no was say opamono na injina so a ogina so nie or say 1 stated misbehavior and incompetence or say nimba nyama mienu na ogina so e de aka kire another dan kweku for say was say Chief Justice no ya pamono opamono enimeni ya na nyama mienu no say Chief Justice no sebio eba den eba bibia ye frɛ no ɛyɛ deɛn ni amɔ ho nsɛm ɔyɛ the misbehavior omumra omunipa sebio ɔyɛ deɛ ɔpɛ ɛna yɛka sɛ incompetence wodi dwuma ma na ontumi ndi dwuma no sebio nyansa yɛdidi dwuma ɛma ehu sɛ we deɛ yɛde nyansa pɔ ɛna edi dwuma ɛma dwuma egyina ne naso no ɔsɛ yɛka bibi te sɛ incompetence sebio oni saa nyansa kadeɛ na yɛtumi di dwuma ɛma dwuma esipi incompetence and also they stated misbehavior or say or ahomaso ene ne su ene ne ban bia sebio odi bu mraso nti nyoma mienu ena ogina so e de aka che na na danko kufu say on pam Chief Justice no na answer na otalo dinka ka say constitution ma ne ho kwan say de ye ne na no te say Charlotte say time no ye betumi so aye ne ya into state ye article a ogina so e de atro krata we e de ama na na danko kufu ado ene ye article 146 of the 1992 Constitution into our ho kwan say obetro krata we ama kufu ado. Now point 2 or say the legal basis of my petition is Article 1461 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. For the avoidance of doubt, my petition focuses on stated misbehavior and incompetence related to the Chief Justice's administrative functions as head of the judiciary responsible for its supervision and administration under Article 1254 of the Constitution. Or say, adikudientia or jina so the ogina so edia kache na na danko kufu say ompam Chief Justice Madam Tokonu say Ghana Constitution no chere baby a say oye Chief Justice ana oye nipa say bio Constitution no ama ho kwan say di dwuma bi na wendi a Constitution so esa ewo emra bi a chere say wendi odwuma yie se ne etia o say gina sa Constitution so esa yi uto akonwa nti eno na ogina so edia kache kufu say ompam osono maame sorry ompam Madam Tokonu a oye Chief Justice. Also, my petition does not arise from the Chief Justice's exercise of her judicial functions. Accordingly, the petition does not challenge any decisions, orders, or directive issued by the Chief Justice in the performance of her duties as a Justice of the Supreme Court, including those made to enforce judgments, decrees, or others in cases she has adjudicated. I fully understand, respect, and value the importance of decisional independence. Or see, Mr. President, krata ochramao no sebio emfa asama Chief Justice atena so edi or see any dia emfa ho. Or see obu Ghana mra, obu eye ejuma omedi no court, eye Supreme Court, any court aka. Or say sa the petition or tree, and your case be a Chief Justice, any Supreme Court judges be tina so, and I say Chief Justice not tina so, and all can wasem, and no dear Sebio Ohuni say a Juma also di. Now a petitioner or trono, a nyoma mienu, Wodinka ase ana aka wasem, and na ojina so intimema, Mr. President, why didn't you say a atemkuruwa and I say a judgment be a Chief Justice a judge was semi so anko ye and I say bia webu assembly asebio na any nekwan so say enye nunti and na ochro say ye Chief Justice free the position as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Okon enim no say and point 4 or say it is my understanding that upon the receipt of this petition, Your Excellency shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices, Supreme Court, one of whom shall appoint as chairman, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. See Article 146 of the Constitution. Also, petition Mr. President, you know, so petition will become sir. There also we because Ghana Mrano say the petition say between sema you were imrebia also with this. Sebio article 1466 and then a chere de also we into onsaka petition we no embrano edaho into dimrano so na yanhwe senia asem we no ebeko na all can say embrano ne say so onsaka petition one they also we say first of all I was say we den ofa judge for mienu a sebio omo Supreme Court sia obete committee ana nipakuo bi a omo no mbehwehwe asem we mu no na constitution no kire article 46:6 say I was say offer 2 Supreme Court judges was our committee no so no now I see 2 justices 2 Supreme Court justices includes those made to enforce judgment, decrees or orders in case let me go here. 2 Supreme Court judges, one whom you shall appoint as a chairman. Or see, Mr. President, in Branich say, I will say, Supreme Court, Obeti Committee, Mama Hasemwima. Also, we judges, many free Supreme Court. I will say, Bako and a chairman of Edian, Sar Committee, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State. It also Council of State in the one. So, in Branich say, Council of State in Article 146, nature say, and this we nipa bia every Council of State, I will say, Ukoi nipa. Bemian Sefri Abontinia, Omuni Council of State in Mukra, into 2 judges from the Supreme Court, Bako, and also a chairman of the committee. And I also Osaka for Nipa Miensa, Omon Council of State for one home. And I also a yadiang Omonka Nipa Ukofa Nipa Miensa Bekamwa, Sanipa, and Nisa Omoka Parliament, and Nisa Sebio Omuye lawyers, and Nisa Sebio Omuye Council of State members. I will say, oh, Nipa Omuye independent. They are not supposed to be Council of State members. They are not supposed to be lawyers. They are not supposed to be they are not supposed to be members of Parliament. You just have to take 2 Supreme Court judges, make one the chairman, and go out there and pick 2 or 3 people who are independent-minded to be part of that committee to sit on their Chief Justice Assembly. So, now, it is my further understanding that the committee shall inquire into the petition and recommend to you whether the Chief Justice ought to be removed from office on the grounds maintained in this petition. I affirm my understanding that all proceedings herein shall be held in camera, and the Chief Justice is entitled to be heard in her defense by herself or by a lawyer or other expert of her choice. Or say, ebe kono say senior ye kwe enim no e wo say e de asem we no u make sure say ubetumi ede eye petition we ebema committee na ebeye 2 judges from the Supreme Court baako be chairman na nipa be miensa omufri abontina omufri Parliament emfri omunya lawyers omunya state Council of State members sa nipa be 9 anenum no e wo so the petition we ede ma omo. Now see, Mr. President, ebe fe say asem we no ye be nyina ye be hwe no TV so na Ghana ni bia ehu say ye nka asem entu chief justice so intinka ebeye say nka Mr President say asem ne mu beda ho kroje ne de anka chief justice na anka sa obepene a o say nka asem we ye nyina ye tena camera mu na Ghana fo nyina hwe bi na ye toto na no na ye hu say eye petition we engineer so wo mu ana say engineer so nim indwudwemu no na o kirechire mu no. Now point 6. It is therefore my understanding that Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, shall act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. That is C Article 1469 to 1466 to 9. Or say, ebene de Mr. President, says our petition we no, sebio ube make sure say, committee no, anyone kasa mwe di mraso because Ghana mrano emra dawa sebio ehye wo president any sa committee ni say omo be ye den omo be di asem wechi emiako edi asem no krogin sene etie. Now afei na obe kire the background the ogina so e di atro sa petition we the ogina so ensem a ogina so nti o se chief justice Madam Tokonu eni se oye chief justice of Ghana eno na yesi amebeki dwem akire nti obi say papa ya tro letter ko mekufu say ompam chief justice Edian pana chief justice aye edian gina so na o gina so aka kire kufuado say onti committee na yempam chief justice because we di abro wa ye nyome bi a sebio ye constitution ana say mbra ebo Ghana ho ban esabo judiciary no ho ban no we tietia so ana say we mu mbra no. Now afi na obekire o de o gina so e de petition we any friend of background. Now background also request for the appointment of 5 justices of appeal to the Supreme Court. Or say, Adeba kwa Chief Justice here na ehu etiamra e was say gina so e de pamono e man ko tenefima sebio ni pebi besha na nan say Madam Tokonu a oye Chief Justice of Ghana or ye say onu ankasa de ne pe ebe appointi judge fo num bra Ghana mra no etia into o say Engineer Swan Bako edin kan say Madam Tokonu a chief justice no or the onu ane pe appointee na o person appointee judge for num eko Supreme Court na nchirechirem ni nie. By a letter dated 30th May 2024, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana formally wrote to Your Excellency specifically requesting the appointment of the following 5 judges of the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court of Ghana. Or say a da 30th May. May da 30th May 2024 afiwe mu no. Madam Tokonu chro letter bre wo na na do danko ekufuado. And letter na o chro bre wo no or the judge for enum omo ye appeals court judges for enum e the bre wo say sankofo no make sure say obema sankofo no abewura Supreme Court. Na judge for enum Madam Tokonu petition and asem o kan no kwesi kweku aza asem o kan say 30th May this year no Madam Tokonu should actual secret letter the komeku for say oh judge for numu we dey ye fast the for Bobra Supreme Court itiamra article 146 to 9 no 1466 to 9 no itia o say sa judge for 9 no mo ye appeals court judges yi omunie 81 petitioner and I say kweku aza and Mr kweku aza no wa kire wabo date into a very important date womb. Now, judge for 9 appeals court judge no omunie. His Lordship Justice Edward Amwakwa Santi J.A. Her Ladyship Justice Angelina Mensah Homia. His Lordship Justice Eric Bafo. Her Ladyship Justice Syria Pamela C.A. Cranting J.A. Her Ladyship Justice Efia Asariboche J.A. Also, sa judge for a numwe secretly. Madam Tokonu extra letter koma ekufu ade say on make sure say obe present o mama parliament me de omode abahin Supreme Court Ghana mrano eyade tia Chief Justice enkohye kukuo mu ntro letter koma president say president nipa numwe for mobra Supreme Court no into say we bi ni nyoma ogina so now time a Chief Justice extra sa akratale koma President Akufo-Addo say onfa koti kwan bi so na onfa sa judge for enum wei embra Supreme Court emma ono ana dwene mu no ochro note bi to so nyoma bi a ochro ka ho a kire say e wo say Akufo-Addo emma sa judge for wei kwan se bi ono na pese omoba Supreme Court commenter Chief Justice Electoral fa judge for ni bi e wo sa letter no ni regarding his lordship Edward Amoako Asante, Judge Bakwa ne friend Edward Amoako Asante no, Chief Justice Tokonucho letter ne dey say no trofa no ho, or say Justice Asante's term of office at the ECOWAS court ended on 31st July 2022. He was requested to remain at post on account of the withdrawal of Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso from the community. His current tenure is expected to end in 2026 or earlier when he is expected to return to Ghana's judiciary. Now, letter no, Chief Justice Chirosatron Sembi say, His Lordship has provided, the letter goes on to say that, and Osachiro said, His Lordship has provided excellent leadership as President of the ECOWAS Court and will undoubtedly be an invaluable asset on the Supreme Court of Ghana. Chief Justice Charles Sakratano secret letter come kufuwa to say, judge your friend Edward Amoako Asante no. Adikudientia onu Chief Justice instructed on kufuwa to come with bom. See am Supreme Court and say, "Sa judge no or ECOWAS Court." Na Madam Toko say, "Oh, sa judge ni de, mi amini pano no." Waya de say wa board ho modern say mini pa say oba na oba Ghana Supreme Court oba be di dwuma aboaye ene na wole tanim into say sanyoma we Chief Justice Troye e wole tanim no ene kire say Chief Justice na boapayo ni da ho ene all selected the Black Star players through the president to come to the Supreme Court. Or say regarding His Lordship Justice Eric Balfour and their leadership Angelina Mensah Homea, Syria Pamela Quarantine, and Ifua Saribotri. However, her leadership, the Chief Justice wrote that day, or see, judges for an Canadian, Mukai Judge Balfour. Judge Balfour no catch them or the warrant at Thomas forever and ever. Mukai, or then a friend Judge Balfour, Yaniko Appeals Court, or Nana or Kanwa Chief Justice said by force, or person of a Kutukanso at the Supreme Court. Inti Judge Balfour now can judge for a numero. First one, they know a ECOWAS court judge. Or can one some show the reason to for the Fanembra Supreme Court. Now, for na cano, letter na Madam Tokonu secretly no. This is what she said about the 4 judges left. Or say, all these 4 judges, and I quote, are currently working as judges of the Court of Appeal. Their work has been distinguished by outstanding services, courage and competence, end of quote. The grave nature of the Chief Justice's role in requesting the appointment of the said justices to the Supreme Court became evident when subsequently social media published another letter dated 7 February 2024 from the Chief Justice to Your Excellency. Inti Judge 44 now can the Chief Justice letter no such my go for say, oh, we die. Why we nim yankofo oma bom ho modin ye. Inti hwem Justice Cheba for ordinary warrant to Kevin Taylor sono into Sanko for Makano, making sure some in a letter we no mudi shim into a protocol list and a Chief Justice Kotonu. I also oye de oye neutral no or kutani protocol lister or there come ekufu to say for Mobra Supreme Court. Mr. P. Yeah, okay, so that's the letter, right? Okay, me team this for letter and chiremo. Before we move forward, this is the letter now. The petitioner is talking about in the petition. My letter in Chiramo na yen twaso sene beya obi abehu asema ye ka no enye atro na yedi ediato Chief Justice Tokonuso. So this is the letter. Letter when Chief Justice etro koma Ekufuado a petitioner Kweku Asare chechirimu achire Ekufuado say we etiamra. Intuition letter na His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufuado. Ohwe top one Honorable Chief Justice date shower 30th May 2024. Meaning the petitioner Kweku Asare no wa both date no ewo letter no wo a kire say Chief Justice Madam Tokonu saade no since letter we ba abontene Madam Tokonu ba abontene kaka say enyo no the secret letter we are or the protocol list come Ekufuado say omo Supreme Court. This is the letter. Osha His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufuado, President of the Republic of Ghana, blah 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 blah. Your Excellency, proposal for appointment of 5 judges to the Supreme Court. Chief Justice natural letter we come Ekufuado. It was intercepted. It was published on social media. The basis in tia or Chief Justice na or the protocol list they call akope ni pebi obetuma ye dwuma bia ma no e Supreme Court e na ye che no. You can see the Chief Justice, the protocol list in the secret letter he wrote to Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufuado. I write to respectfully request that the following judges be appointed to the Supreme Court. This was a request at the Chief Justice, a catcher president say, Momumbra Supreme Court. This is dangerous. You have a protocol list in the Supreme Court and to become a Supreme Court judge. But the Chief Justice, Madam Tokonu, did that. And in a petition, and I watch all letter come for say, I was some many a pamano, because when you do this, you have committed a crime. And the Constitution states it clearly. Article 1466, Article 1466 to 9, no, it is clearly say you cannot use that your position to influence positions to the Supreme Court. And clearly, no, our reason and basis in tia what letter come ekufuado say pam Madam Tokonu letter nini, that's the evidence. Now mommy and back to the petition. Send a Ghana for ebe to me who said the ekosono enie. Now petition uko edima. Or see, even on the 7th of February 2024, 7th February 2024, is captioned brief on the need for the minimum number of 20 judges on Ghana's Supreme Court bench. In the said letter, the Chief Justice stated that almost say a year 7th February 2024, the Chief Justice, Madam Tokonu, sat another letter. A letter of such a comekufuado no or state reasons in tia and what say or no and making sure say a judges almost Supreme Court no you move over 20. It's the reason tia na onya ne protocol list say ekufuado do munyina beba ne say na ono no or pese o move Ghana Supreme Court judges no etu the 20 or pese o muye 20. America kakrakei the Supreme Court judges ye 9. And so Madam Tokonu any ekufuado atro mo letter Emma omo ye plan say e wo say ye den ye move your Supreme Court no judges no numbers no equal 20. Now tie letter na Madam Tokonu tro come ekufuado no on the 7th of February 2024 no. Mr. Okay, so letter so me team ne dia, but I will show you that letter on February 7th. I will tro come ekufuado no. I will show you the letter before I read. Letter ni. Thank you Mr. P. Thank you Mr. S. Thank you for bringing in this letter. Now, me team is having letter. This is the letter Otrono on the 7th of February. Or Sakache Kufuado. First letter the 30th May. Or catch 2022 no. Odin Kakache Kufuado say on for 5 judges Wimbra. And at 2024, 7th February no. Or some reasons in tia. Also or person or move judges no to 20. Now this is the letter Otroye on the 7th of February 2024. Na or insist to say or pese o movie judges no 20 where ye Madam Tokonu ne terminal report na me read actual no. Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, 7th February 2024. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Office of the President, Jubilee House. It will share letter na Madam Tokonu Chokome Kufuado na brief on the need for a minimum number of 20 judges on Ghana's Supreme Court bench. Into our truck come to say after all the protocol list of 5 commanders on former Supreme Court no appeals court judges no or Saba 2024 be man reasons in tra or person also expanded judges almost Supreme Court to 20. Now this is the letter. I'll say respectfully, I write in reference to our previous discussion on the Chief Justice's proposal for an increase in the number of justices of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Kindly find attached a paper justifying the need for the request. Thank you very much. Madam Tokonu ni din shasi no into Chief Justice Nankasa na Chokome Kufuado say the reason there's a need for Ghana judges now Supreme Court no or no after bringing 5 protocol lists no from appeals court no or sa insist say or say my judges no could do 20 yanko enim yanko kind petition ni the wom into petitioner no he was telling you evidence ewoho enye bosremuka or show evidence any embra Chief Justice Tokonu ebuso. Now no point 13 or say the above quotation suggests that there has been a previous discussion on the subject between Chief Justice and the President. It is already letter na quotation or any caption it say Chief Justice ne Ekufuado didn't plan. Now they wanted to make it official. Into petition and say so already letter ni here only say President Ekufuado ne Madam Tokonu trase and I'm planning say the protocol list of 5 Madam Tokonu de bebrelo na wa pass omo de omo Supreme Court owia na wasa de eye krata ba injina so a opese obie judges ni mu more emom ye 20 e was Supreme Court until they had planned it. And a petition and say so ready eye documentations na following nyina e kire say Kufuor ne Madam Tokonu mu no omo tenas na omo plan say omo the protocol list be Supreme Court omo wi na say bie judges nim to 20. Now petition and ko him no say point 14 of concern to your petitioner is the fact that both letters, one proposing an increase in the minimum number of justices on the Supreme Court of Ghana and other requesting 5 specific judges to be appointed to the Supreme Court, were written on the letterhead of the Chief Justice and clearly expressed itself as the Chief Justice's personal request on the matter. The letter did not refer to any consultation or involvement of the Judicial Council, of which the Chief Justice is a member and within whose constitutional mandate it lies to deal with matters relating to the appointment of justices of the Supreme Court. Or see, petitioner say, "Ushe letter mirina Chief Justice Electoral and another Dankwe Kufuor." Let me put it on the screen. Senebeya obeti asie. Ushe these 2 letters are Madam Tokonu Electoral and another Dankwe Kufuor now. You can see clearly say the letters were coming from the office of the Chief Justice. Now, the money who say you be for the Judicial Council. Judicial Council no embrasho mo say ye pese ye appoint a judge for bia ediko Supreme Court e was say Judicial Council no netenase na omo ye pensempensemu ehwe mu mra edwindwene ho eti ase say we de a good decision and say good decision judge we qualify and so qualify petition and cho petition no kweku azaka che Kufuor say uhwe 2 letters na Madam Tokonu chiro first one say sebio or the 5 protocol list or Nwankasa hand-picked judges. And the second one or Troya or just say the reason why into a person obey judges now was Supreme Court to 20 no. Usha letter ni mienua letterhead if you on Nwankasa office. There is nowhere in the letter as cited say she consulted the General Legal Counsel. And I say she consulted what we call where's the name? The Judicial Council. There's nothing on this letter, sir. Say the Chief Justice consulted the Judicial Council. It means to say that decision was solely taken by the Chief Justice herself, which is against Imra. So the Chief Justice is now Mugabe. The Chief Justice is now an authoritarian. The Chief Justice is now running the Supreme Court or the judicial service and the judicial system as her own property because she's sending letters to the Jubilee House with her letterhead. And in the letter, she did not state anywhere that she had consulted the Judicial Council on this matter. So clearly, the Chief Justice has breached the law. She is basically being an autocratic leader. She is misbehaving. That's amount to misbehavior, and it's countermount to the sacking of the Chief Justice. This is the petitioner's reason. Until Nanado Dankwe Kufuor or say Opam Madam Tokonu, and he's not just stating the things. He's using facts. He's using articles, he's using the Constitution and making the president understand to say, Emrana Bogana Homane say, I was Chief Justice taking a steps way. So when taking steps way, and nobody is supposed to allow her to be as to be there as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Now, Yanko point 15. Point 15 in the petition. Team, are we good? Thank you, team. Thank you. Sir, we do live production. When I need something, the team will pull it. So that's how it works. Now, when you go to point 15 in the petitioner page 3 out of 19. Hey, Asamoah. Point 15 say, your petitioner is further concerned by the reference to an earlier discussion between the Chief Justice and Your Excellency the President on the proposal to increase the number of justices on the Supreme Court. Your petitioner also notes that the question of minimum number of justices on the Supreme Court is settled by Article 1281 of the Constitution, which provides that the Supreme Court, and I quote, the Supreme Court shall consist of the Chief Justice and not less than 9 other justices of the Supreme Court, end of quote. Or see, petitioner say, say Nanado Dankwe Kufuor wunim se emrada ho a kire say your Supreme Court nanka say I will say Chief Justice any 9 judges omo kan homa ne 10 and na wose omo at the same time. Inti day na Chief Justice Madam Tokonu a onum Ghana mra nyina no etimi tro letter bra ka kire say or pese or expand adia constitution ehye ketin. These are entrenched laws. Constitution ehye say I was say a Supreme Court no at every given time or say judges 10 or Chief Justice plus 9 judges. Now you the president who is a lawyer, a so-called lawyer who knows the law, so Chief Justice actually let us say Eddie bro catch say even though she knows the constitution states this emphatically that you cannot exceed 10 no, why did you at the end of the day not raise any concern into the petition and our letter come for say ayen wanwa esokino the president does not respect the constitution and the Chief Justice does not respect the constitution because it has been stated in the constitution. So Article 1281 or say at a given time no you have 10 judges at the Supreme Court, Chief Justice plus 9. Inter a Chief Justice to letter bro president to say Mr. President me person me 20. It means somebody is taking advantage of the constitution. Somebody is abusing their office. It's either you the president or the Chief Justice. Now the Chief Justice has to go because the petition is directed at the Chief Justice. Now let's go to point 16. Ghana for Obiati. This is how it's going to be done from today. Sani ebeno yede no kure na bebo Ghana ho ban. Sene be ya obi ntumi nko twist in sembia enkoka in sembia ntu obiaso. 2016. The plain meaning of Article 1281 is that the minimum number of justices for the Supreme Court is 10. Thus, an amendment of the Constitution is the lawful way to change the minimum, not by a private discussion or communication between the Chief Justice and the President. It is Parliament that has the power to amend the Constitution, Article 289 of the 1992 Constitution. In the petition, I catch Mr. Kufuado. Then I'm running says part of the Constitution, Article 1281 of the Constitution, I say it was say at any time we be yet Supreme Court no judges all include the Chief Justice yet 10 no. It is only amendment. Yakasa amendment part of the Constitution 128.1 no. It was say yes sacrim yadi and saka any of an amendment. Yes sasha ni biem say be dane ne kakra. So far amendment bi ambaye. And at the end of the day, say some run required and Sabeka, I can say judges 10 or more Supreme Court, I will say the 20 year. I will see this a day and run echo do parliament. Not parliament at deliberate near to Swaba and Sunny Ajatum say, you per se expanded the number of judges at the Supreme Court. But Social Lieutenant Chief Justice Chokoma Ekufuadana, it is looking like they have ignored the procedure and process. And it is beginning to look like a personal vendetta, a personal agenda. A Chief Justice Ekufuado are conniving behind the scenes to slaughter the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Into the petition, I say, what he is seeing, and he say, you, the President and the Chief Justice, you have connived because from the correspondence, from the letter, no, the Chief Justice is basically flouting the laws. She's going against the Constitution of the Republic. Chief Justice now, or the Supreme Court, or interpreting Constitution, no, she is basically doing what? Fucking the Constitution. She is basically murdering the Constitution. Or Danny who say I am interpreting it. Or Danny who say then she is murdering it. And then a petitioner, Asareka say, Nana Danko Ekufuado, what we are seeing, no, it is looking like Chief Justice no on no alpha Ghana Judicial say more personal property. Now, point 17. Further, your petitioner has reliable information that a meeting of the Judicial Council held on 14 June 2024, the Chief Justice expressed her desire to increase the number of Supreme Court justices, whereupon the Council advised her ladyship to pursue broader consultation with other institutions on the matter, especially the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Or say, Mr. President, petitioner says, Mr. President, the Chief Justice at a meeting a course between the Chief Justice and the Judicial Council no, on the 14th of June 2024 no, was stated amount date. Chief Justice echo meeting as no crazy say, oh, me perceive me increases the number of people on the Supreme Court bench. And the Judicial Council focus the Chief Justice. Sa same way, and yet easy sa because constitutional a barrier a jinaso. In Tinkebeya and Chief Justice, ye ending and consult Ghana for yina. Ye consult Parliament. Ni any Parliament in Tenassi pense send ye beya ye bet me to sa na more way and so Chief Justice NTA. I'll see meeting also on the 14th of June 2024. Meaning, at that meeting, the Judicial Council told her that if she solely take that decision, it is against the law. So she knew that the intent was to commit a crime. From what the petitioner is saying, Chief Justice had an advice from the Judicial Council telling her that do not even think about it. But the Chief Justice, upon all the advice she was given, in this point, you will say the legal advisors of the Chief Justice was the Judicial Council, but she ignored their legal advice and decided to take her own decision. And no enema who said she flouted the law and became an autocrat and decided to subdue the Constitution to benefit herself by selecting 5 individuals she thinks are her boys and girls that can work with her. And also, her herself decided to expand the number of judges on the Supreme Court bench. It is dangerous. It means the Chief Justice has stabbed the Constitution in the heart. And as a person, personally, she wants to run the Supreme Court like her own business. On the 14th of June, Judicial Council for catch and say, hey, idea we're dangerous. We need broader consultation. And even after the broader consultation, I was said you call parliament, any parliament, and some person will be president. But Chief Justice told them they should go fuck themselves. She knows what she's doing. And in a petition, and they say, let us a sound to say when the president and the Chief Justice didn't come with Chile and a more plan. Petition point 18. Point 18. The petitioner, the ultraman, the Kudientia was a Chief Justice, a Pamano Enie. Besides, what again? Which one is this? Okay, so my team is a constitution in Chiramo. Article now the petitioner the Supreme Court. How many judges is supposed to have at a given time? We need to make sure the facts are stated on the show. Now, so Ghana, chapter 11, the judiciary. This is what it says about the number of judges are the Supreme Court. So, the petitioner has a case. Now, 128.1 not petitioner estate the petition or say Constitution say the Supreme Court shall consist of the Chief Justice and not less than 9 other justices of the Supreme Court. In the Constitution, it makes it clear, and Chief Justice Kotoka, who is supposed to interpret the Constitution, knows this. Even at a meeting where the Judicial Council advised her that do not do this without broader consultation and also consulting Parliament, she still flouted the law, went against the law, and decided to go behind the scenes to work this thing out with the Kufuor to bring their shortlisted judges to the Supreme Court. The petitioner is telling you, say, Emra Ewoho Chief Justice Abokrono Enie into Yengina Sonian Pamono. Let's go back to the Constitution. Thank you very much, team. Now let's go back to the Constitution. Hey, let's go back to the petition. Petition point 18, page 3 out of 19. Hey, I remember. At the said council meeting, the Chief Justice did not disclose the fact that her desire to increase the number of Supreme Court judges had been the subject of a previous discussion and communication with His Excellency. This fact became evident only after a letter dated 7 February 2024 from the Chief Justice to Your Excellency appeared on social media. It follows from these facts that the Council had no knowledge of her involvement in the attempt to increase the minimum number of justices beyond the constitutional specified number. The petitioner say, even meeting the course, not Judicial Council for nimu po say time na muti meeting na say kasa asem na Chief Justice Krampo din catch letter come president until say letter no Krampo ba abontene enti Chief Justice no otutu anoma e na o de ko kire Judicial Council for say otutu anoma no wie no say anoma ba nie na oyo mo krokro de John Abraham ka also consult your first no we didn't get taking the decision wie and sana obetutu anoma ho achom say oh anoma we bola bed na say antrohwe because she had already connive with the president behind the scenes. Because I will check the date of the letters now. Those days clearly say the Chief Justice had already written to the president before even meeting the Judicial Council in June 14, 2024. Meaning on February 2nd now or church and a letter no any the previous one in 2022 no. That means that before we got to June no, not Chief Justice didn't catch a letter come Kufuor. And send otutu anoma who catch Judicial Council say, oh, me person can expanded the judges. Chief Justice had already broken the law. She's already broken the law. We boom run so that and what Oba making sure say Judicial Council at the end of the day will be part of the law she has broken, because you see she needed an accomplice. The Chief Justice knew, because I know she knows the law. That is why she's at the Supreme Court. She needed an accomplice to help her in law, and I say in investigation. Freddie alibi. The Chief Justice needed an alibi. She needed somebody that their words will sync with her word to protect her later when she's caught. So she used the Judicial Council as an alibi. Senebeya same way back. Chief Justice Becker said, "Oh, I was at the meeting, so I already told them." But the letters and the date on the letters, actually exposed the Chief Justice. Said she actually took that decision before meeting the Judicial Council. So she had already committed a crime, but it was an afterthought that okay, my committed crime anyway. Let me now implicate the Judicial Council. Senebeya, I cannot be silenced or isolated and punished. So that meeting, she went and basically threw in that suggestion. She had already taken a decision, and the evidence is in the letter. Now, page 19. The Article 128 clearly states the Chief Justice must go, and this is the petition to the read. Number 20. The Constitution requires the President to act on the advice of the Council in consultation with the Council of State when nominating Supreme Court judges for parliamentary approval. The Chief Justice's elaborate scheme of requesting the President to appoint specific judges and later presenting these names for the Council approval subverts the constitutional scheme and converts both the Council and the President into rubber stamping her preferred judges. As it turned out, the scheme was fortuitously undone by the Council's concern about the timing of the nomination. Now, when the petition is being considered at any stage, members of the Judicial Council will be subpoenaed to testify on the matter. Petitioner say be judges for and I say be judges at Supreme Court. The Constitution requires the President to act on the advice of the Council. I was a president in every Council of State because me person the judges for be adding echo Supreme Court. Na mo na mo Council of State. Mombra na mo ne me fa ho adwene. Nipa num mo mo saying, mo adwene mo saying, ansa na owia na saa eye de saa eye nominees na Supreme President be or the akọ Parliament. Or the court Parliament na Parliament for so avert omo or omo vert omo we ansa omo approve ansa na job to some go Supreme Court. But this is the case whereby the Chief Justice at the end of the day she basically decided to put together a plan that will cut out this process, a plan that will be between just her and the President, because she just wanted the President to say yes and then they'll move the people to the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice is supposed to follow the due process, because when you take out due process, everything becomes corrupt. That is why due process, normally when you are doing things and you take out due process, whatever you do, that process becomes corrupt, because the due process will do what? Will refine the journey, will refine whatever you are trying to get. In this opposite, we gold. So bobo bana or sabobano or the process and son of could be a friend way gold. You just pick a rock, it's an ore. There's nothing in there but to say way to tongue. You need to grind bobano or crash bobana. Now the coffee machine, na machine yam no mana coffee to powder. Or we are no shanke. O shankane chasu ya and son of Bedanisio. Now was I good so no say chimu and son of the murder to what the murder to and son you go in the pay. It is a we ignore our process now. So gold no worth $2 million I to worth a 20 Ghana, because the due process, when you skip the process, that thing does not become valuable, and that is what the Chief Justice did. She cut out the due process to benefit herself and also the President. In the petition, I can't talk to her say, "Oh, Sir Chief Master President, mo pese Ghana for nyina hu no kure wo ma. E was say omo wari he Judicial Council no. E was say a petition omo na say a subpoena omo. E was say court show omo no omo ba committee de nimbeji tum say Chief Justice yes sir na say wanya sir." I think the petitioner is trying to also give the Chief Justice some room to basically clear herself. Say Judicial Council for no ye subpoena omo na omo ba court na omo be ditra ye nyina nim say we ditra under a subpoena, you know what will happen. In terms of a petition, Mr. President, so Chief Justice said asaba ye keke nyina boa ye betima subpoena a Judicial Council say letter we about the meeting we omo ye na and correspondence lecture saying or say he's open The Chief Justice Madam Tokonu was say oba na oba church. Point 21. Oh, see, over Kevin does Galamsey because of the way he's breaking it down. Say if you Galamsey boy. Point 21 said the Chief Justice's request for the appointment of the aforementioned judges to the Supreme Court was done in brazen violation of the constitutional rules for the appointment of justices of the Supreme Court, amounted to abuse of her office, and was done without fair and or reasonable criteria. Into a say 21, the Chief Justice I didn't say the Chief Justice was abusing the office. Adio ye need the hon wodi bone nti eno no kire se e wose pam no ana yi ne to akonwa. Point 22, the Chief Justice request for the appointment of the point 23. Petition and Trobi be point 23 or say the Chief Justice, as the head of the judiciary, must understand that she has no direct role in recommending individuals for appointment or promotion to the Supreme Court. If the Chief Justice makes recommendations for the promotion or appointment to the Supreme Court, it strongly indicates either a shocking lack of understanding or utter disregard for the constitutional process and established promotion procedures. Further, the Chief Justice ought to know that she cannot have a side deal with the President to raise the minimum number of judicial or justices to the Supreme Court, sidestepping the minimum that is specified by the Constitution. Petition and Mr. President. The Chief Justice no say or take a decision now no ankasa no recommending nipa now the bravo president say Mr. President masanko for Emra Supreme Court etiam mrado kondo in fact sa eye emrana Chief Justice efa so or recommend nipa e dia bro say obe promote omo say obe di omo Supreme Court say obe mo eye de ndibre bia no Ghana mra no kire especially say Chief Justice any president kasa say or percent or expanding the number of judges or Supreme Court bench in this one. Abra when you use due process now it means to say the Chief Justice herself no need daho and we bugana mraso because it's stated in the Constitution say you cannot do that. Article 128(1) clearly states it. Say you cannot by yourself behind the scenes with the president promote or nominate people without using due process. Into petition and say sign your way says a Chief Justice not to mra we boom mraso say Ghana your maya your person mra ye dwuma or some Madam Tokonu your pamono. Now ukwa your friend B arbitrary reconstitution of panels and transfer of judges. Because you say on my point o gina so ediaka the Chief Justice yen yin to akonya. First one aye kind no and your friend request for appointment of 5 justices of the appeals court to the Supreme Court. And who in 7 wakano reason dia ba kono no. Now waba another reason tia also pam Madam Tokonu and that reason here arbitrary reconstitution of panels and transfer of justices. Or say Chief Justice den to me the judge phobi or no ankasa de trim onim raso na wasesa judge phobi egu panel bi so watekuo bi na no ankasa mom di dwuma bi or say eno so ka ho tia or say Madam Tokonu ye yi ne to akonwa na mom yan kan de wa ase. (24) There have been reported incidents of Chief Justice's direct interference with duly constituted panels with no explanation or public interest reasons for so doing. We consider the reconstitution of panels to be beyond the Chief Justice's administrative power and amount to direct interference with the impartiality and independence of duly constituted judicial panels. Almost say petition say you may be so close to Supreme Court. Chief Justice to be change judges anyhow. Sebio or you're the Chief Justice. Now you to me the nipa miensa kotena appeals court case bi so. Ade to be channel pa no asesa omo without even going through the process. I was here. Chief Justice ade bibia hye den sa. Obi to me kotena case so oh ade achi aye kotena case so endo ahomachefo ne afriend say on free case so ebi wo kwa to me the phone calls e ka chom say case no men ko ho o chena obi abehya wanan. Or say sign your money nyina kire say Chief Justice no or abusing the office and the evidence are there. Now Uko 25 the Chief Justice's constitutional and or legal authority to constitute and reconstitute panels for the hearing of cases must be guided by the constitutional and common law principles which regulates the exercise of such power. And so is the power to transfer judges and other officials of the services. In the Chief Justice, even though ordinary Chief Justice, Supreme Court or Ghana, I was say Odim Rabiso. Say about transfer of judges, and I say the judge phobia assembly so or so free so, and I nipa bi so mutena case judge phobia so or mutena appeals court case bi so I was say odim raso say oye Chief Justice na nkyere say obetuma tenefie atamfo na free judge or phone so say case we free so. No, it does not work like that. It has to go through a process. But Chief Justice no consistently no omo will say sa nyoma no onye otumi body sirem no agasa asime free case we so we nkodo obo a odware no pa odum say case on net so ondu court we say o Chief Justice afre say we dey wontumi tena case no obi mbra, and their evidence or the aka the petition no approve say or some Madam Tokonu ya pamono. Now when you go to point 26, the fundamental inability to distinguish between the exercise of her administrative power and interference with the panel's judicial work confirms her incompetence, quite apart from the dangers that it poses to the integrity and independence of the judiciary. Inability to understand or perform the duties of an office inadequately constitutes incompetence. Inti osi adikudientia okache president to say the two things are original say and from Chief Justice are back where incompetence and say so but I had the lapses in her work, how she's not able to make sure say due process is followed, and also how to make sure say administratively conducting the judicial affairs in our courts, the inconsistencies and the unprofessional attitude of her, it amount to incompetence, ama workflow, any judicial service, a juma nanka say ekoso and sisine naso. Into when you say Chief Justice Madam Tokonu is incompetent. Sebio oni sa nyansa ho kana obetumi edi Ghana Supreme Court enim edi make sure say Supreme Court any court ehihye na sin nyina no omo die dwuma amana die esi 13 into ogina sa de o saka Mr. President say upon nyoma we state no sa nyoma we nyina chere Chief Justice Madam Tokonu oye incompetent. Dwuma dia odi no wabe selfish, wabe arrogant, wabe somebody who has become an autocrat in a democratic dispensation. And the petitioner said, no, Mr. President, sa maame we petition we chese was say pamono e was say yi ne to akonwa. Point 28, the Constitution. Now point 27, it is my contention that reconstitution of judicial panel is the ultimate way to interfere with or control the impartiality and independence of a panel's judicial work, guaranteed by Article 1272 and 1913 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, 1992 Constitution. Petitioner, Mr. President, only the Ghana branch and PFA say Chief Justice started in Sakika judge for any judge for the case so reshuffle mo move mo without going through due processor. The say it might be a friend of crow ana crojin ana fair trial. Said the idea some soko pepe yeso na obiade na koma pakofie no or say the moment a obenya Chief Justice or than the judges or turn them eka say we nkwa ha no ema asema sebe we huni say e wo say ye no kure na ntumi nya no kure efi say ade be chimi akodi asem na yenim say judge we na atena asem we so 6 years and 6 months and 2 years na ade be chimi be court na ade chien na judgment beba na e ka say assistant judge we ye the judge we abeto so na it means say judge foforo na ye de ba no na e bia ya man agenda bi say ombeye. Because the judge now otuna case in this one for all these years or months, so on one 8 case in identity sa judge and to me any day incomplete case a typical example is the Hunyuniga case. Opuni a case at a point they delay the case to make sure say Hunyuniga will get to a retirement. Send a bear move to me another judge who will be dancing to the song of the Jubilee House. And there are so many cases at a point Edru say a judgment tibeduno near you judge in Ubusa the Chief Justice, she does not give any reason, because there are some people who think say they can run the Ghana judiciary the way they want. But petitioner says society is here Emma pepe yo any impartiality any say the idea some crojeno and maso if you say a basada na in semina wo court na say nipa bi and a sebio omo edinu amana eden akọ omo side no who is a Chief Justice attitude sa nyoma na edeba enu nti na ogina say yempam Madam Tokonu. It's basically abuse of power. Now point 28, the Constitution is clear that no person, including the President, Parliament and the Chief Justice, shall interfere with judges or judicial officers or other persons exercising judicial power in the exercise of their judicial functions. That is in Article 1272. Thus, the reconstitution under the guise of exercising administrative power is a glaring abuse of her office and a fundamental misunderstanding of the boundaries of the Chief Justice's administrative authority. The abuse of her administrative power to interfere with panel's judicial functions meets the threshold of stated misbehavior. Inti enena obo ne tofa say the Chief Justice say ya order in psychic can judges we kwa ha ade be chine be ma final judgment to free ho we measure ho o say sadie no at the end of the day what it does is say so kokan Ghana articles no and as a constitutional article 1272 no clearly say judge be ana Chief Justice sana what she's basically doing in the say she is not exercising her duties well. What she will use an argument to say, oh, what she's doing in the say, oh, you're the Juma, but in the process of doing that, she's abusing her office. To say a thin line between magic and miracle. So when you're very clever, you will not understand magic and miracle. Magic for a short period. Miracle is everlasting. But Obia Waji say magic is miracle. That is why Obetumi are abusing office. No, but Obeka says she's exercising her duties. But in the process, when you look at the detailing, you could see say she is abusing the office and what we call justice. She is not helping justice to be meted on the people. What she's doing is she's interfering in the people who are supposed to sit on cases, know the merit of the case, and pronounce legitimate judgment. She is interfering in those judgments, taking away justice from the people. The petitioner is saying, say, article in the Ghana's constitution, say Chief Justice be a sir, or boom ranoso, or mere the constitution, or tietia, she's abusing her office. Basically, that's what the petitioner is saying. Now, the petitioner Emma instances are a man kasa way and o state the opuni trial and I'm kind of puna minyan Mr. Asare Ekache Mr. Kufuor say examples of what Chief Justice Aya actually say or interfere in reconstitution and the panels on cases or see this one of the specific examples opuni case or say the ongoing case involving Mr. Opuni, the Republic versus Stephen Kwabena Opuni, said Agongo Agriculture Ghana Limited, is a glaring example of the Chief Justice's abusing his administrative powers to reconstitute a duly constituted Supreme Court panel that is seized of matter on the judicial side. In this case, Justice Hunyuga, who presided over the matter at the trial level, proceeded on retirement. Now, the trial was reassigned to Justice Kwesi Anochijima, who at that time presided over a division of the High Court in Accra before which the case was placed. The court presided over by Anochijima ruled on April 4, 2023 that the trial should start afresh, that is de novo, considering the need to observe witness demeanor and the fairness concern raised by the defense. This has also been the practice in criminal trials, in contrast to civil trials where the parties had been optioned to adopt the proceedings or start the trial de novo. This common law positions is reiterated in the Republic versus High Court, that is Criminal Division, ex parte Stephen Kwabena Opuni number, and he put in the motions and all that. Judgment delivered on 24 January 2023. Or see a typical example, a Opuni case, petitioner said, Mr. President, Ubeje say Opuni case, Justice Hunuga, omu delay case na mani bedru the retirement date. Justice Hunuga call retirement and a Chief Justice catch a judge for your friend, a year Kwesi Anochijima say uncle tina case so. Sa judge in better case na so and a Chief Judge catch a judge and say on restart the case from a the beginning from de novo, meaning their witnesses in better for over 5 years. Justice study body language, study contradictions, study the inconsistencies in the defense and the criminal the prosecutor, whether their witnesses and all that. Time Justice Hunyuga echo retirement and Chief Justice Kotonu ekache Justice Jima say ko now go tena case ni so start the case from afresh. Remember time na Justice Hunyuga ewo case ni so no na edru baby a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo yɛ den ɔmo ma opuni bie ne defense na opuni ɛyɛ den ɛka kyerɛ Ghana for say this is his case. But side new judge ne ba no kasa dabi because remember sa case no and attorney general no witness na oye dwuma okoko board page no ho court otwa atro justice Hunyiga ka kyerɛ sa witness na wa page no ho no say yes I know say you have committed a crime. Remember so court na say us jinsie na say o ka asɛm a nsie na wudi no kyerɛ say eni say wotwa atro in the oponi case no attorney general no witness baako edi tro case nim ema opuni lawyers no ehu atro no ema judge gitum say atro and so Hunyiga ka say or the atro ne to or san ko punish nipa no either so be jail no or say that be or train na owie case ni nyina wa be say obe jail na. That is against the law. The judge was supposed to take action because the person had sworn not to lie. So in the middle of the case or proceedings you be say what atro e was said na the law says say I was a judge take immediate action but Hunyiga anye. Until after all these things you know Hunyiga say call retirement or this papa we buy no and cause papa we tina case no so and cause witness from the attorney general no na cause say jail no and so papa na chief justice toko no dey buy no say oh yensan cause start case no meaning the crime that the attorney general's witness committed during the trial no that crime will be quashed away. Next means say bonina odi no yabog bonina togu and no ni sa nyoma na the petition ka che kufu ado say sa nyoma wei e na kire say madam tokonu edwuma all ya ode ne nsa keka judge for move things around no nim behavior no it countermount to incompetence and also she is basically running the Supreme Court or the judicial services like her own property. Now uko another pointer o make here reconstitution of panel for the hearing of Dr. Opuni's appeal. Also Opuni case no edru point to be no omo ye appeal e mani kopie Supreme Court mokai that was the time now Attorney General Godfrey Damemo almost started say omo yomo skirmishes no. Now I say these are some of the reasons until I was a Chief Justice Madam Tokonu ye pamono. Now which one is this? All right. Dr. Opuni's legal team, led by lawyer Samuel Kujo, filed an interlocutory appeal at the Supreme Court on July 7, 2023, arguing that the Court of Appeal erred in its judgment. Several months after the appeal was filed, parties appeared before Supreme Court on January 17, 2024 for a hearing. The court, presided over by Justice Mariama Owusu, along with Justice Yaudakwansari, Emmanuel Yonikulendi, George Kingsley Kumsin, and Henry A. Kofi, ordered the parties to file written submissions. Now, on May 8th, 2024, the Chief Justice controversially reconstituted the panel hearing Dr. Opuni's appeal, presiding over the new panel, which included Justice Mariama Owusu, Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, Yaudakwansari, and Ernest Gau. Only 2 of the original 5 justices remained. Lawyer Samuel Kujo objected to the new panel, citing Article 1573 of the Constitution, which stipulates that a judge or panel cannot withdraw from a case after hearing argument until judgment is delivered. Or see the reason why Chief Justice could see a permanent and say, open case, yeah. There was an appeal. Judges are now also appeals, so ometie and komubabetie appeal of opuni case, you know. What happened was at the other time case no na Chief Justice Madam Tokonu e de onu ankasa ne tumi e judge ne bi se free so we yi ba mi se free so ana mienu e na ode onu ankasa no judge fo abehiem judge ode on beka hono ba ko ye MPP ni judge e ko Supreme Court e be hu se na MPP card bearer member gawu into see sanyoma we Madam Tokonu ye ne clearly say she has become a political judge. She is basically abusing her office but sitting behind what we call administrative duties. But you can see clearly say she is infiltrating, she is touching the process, she is basically abusing her office by bringing in judges. She thinks that when there's an appeal case, you know, I was said judges in the now some of the judges are not with cases, so they complain. They say Imbrani clearly say Chief Justice, you cannot take us off the case. Abra yetie appeal, no, because you can only do that after we have heard the appeal and make judgment. But before that was about to happen, no, Chief Justice Madam Tokunu Kachom so move free case, no, so and overnight, no, on one the judges me and Sabeshemu and no kahu and clearly a said the Chief Justice. Embrano clearly states say Article 153 say the Chief Justice Constitution say so yes sir. Why abuse Embrano? Why they I was saying you to akonya if you say unya nipa ubumra. It petition and say when na original so aka check for say maame we also pamono because the constitution states it clearly and the facts are there for everyone to see. So at this point petitioner Mr. President maame we she is not supposed to be the Chief Justice from tomorrow. Now when you go further there is another case or cite or catch the or the petition the Ablakwa case or see the Chief Justice SI misconducting or the Ablakwa case then see and then I talk on ye and then Emma petitioner Mr. Asari Ejina so I say Madam Tokonu is not fit and that the Kufuado should fire him. Sorry, fire her. The Ablakwa case, sorry. The Ablakwa case. On the 25th June 2024, lawyers for the Honorable Member of Parliament for North Tongu objected to a reconstituted panel of the Court of Appeal. They contended that, to the best of their knowledge, the panel to which the case was assigned are Senyor Jamefe, presiding judge, Ifya Sewa Saribotri, and Acha JJA. They, however, observed that the panel had been reconstituted by the substitution. They, however, observed that the panel had been reconstituted by the substitution of Jamefe and Acha JJA for Pamela Cranting presiding and Kweku Akabuafu JS, leaving Asaribotri as the only justice of the original panel. The reconstitution panel dismissed the objection, holding that there was no evidence to suggest bias as the basis for the reconstitution. A Blackwa case, at a point, Judge Fuano Motiso, na Omutie case, adeɛ kyɛ wo ba case no nipa na omuka case omu ya be for no Chief Justice Madam Tokonu de ono ane tumi eyi omu free case no so e another set of judges ebe ka case no omu ntie case no omu nim where the case started from. Chief Justice Madam Tokonu Ablakwa case no she committed the same crime. So it is looking like it is a behavior of the Chief Justice. She does what she wants and basically she gets away with murder. She gets away with murder every time because at the end of the day, onim say so commit a crime no cry. Nobody is going to sack her because she, from the beginning of this petition, you could see her collaboration, her behind the scenes secret letters with the president. So she's basically like an autocrat leading our Supreme Court. Now, subsequently, however, evidence emerged that Justice Jamefe was initially empaneled to preside over the matter but was written to return the docket to Chief Justice Senyor Jamefe. Subsequently, however, evidence emerged that Justice Jamefe was initially empaneled to preside over the matter but was written to return the docket to the Chief Justice. Justice Senyor Jamefe will be subpoenaed to testify in the matter. Inti omu say okache ekufo Mr. President, the same way Justice Jamefe is there. Say committee no who putting it together, he can be subpoenaed to come and answer. Said the American because a year Justice Senyor Jamefe no, what happened and then say a year later no, who say the role no Chief Justice Giffrey in same and another judge. Chief Justice reconstitute a year panel no. At the end of the day, no credible that who say Chief Justice did that by her own will. Ain't subpoena. The petitioner ne kache kufuado say committee no putting it together from no mun subpoena Justice Jamefe no mbeka say dia me came boa na say me boa o2 or chere evidence or chere facts or chere nipa also mo ba ebe chere say the oka ni nyina no no kre e say Chief Justice no ya pamo no. Now also state another case which is Republic versus Elisha Mahama and two others. Sorry, Elisha Mahama and two others. Into now we stating cases are just say the Chief Justice no at the end of the day no or day obumraso or reconstitute panels or the nsaka judges or positions obi to meet cases so case ni ba be ready no you know the on confirm show say ni nyina no constitution is stating it clearly waka check Mr. President say what committee na jabefani ade dem nya mbetime supini om so mbra said the all cano esi anase ensi. Okay, so osade another point by ya or say when the engineer so pam Chief Justice or say usurping the functions of the rule of court committee. Now, there now watch your point 47. Yes, 7 out of 19. Mr. P, Mr. S. All right. Now, in April this year, 2024, the Chief Justice issued about 10 practice directions to regulate some aspect of practice and procedure of certain courts in Ghana. This function is by Article 157 of the Constitution reserved exclusively to the rule of the court committee. Almost say April this year, Chief Justice issue some practice direction. Sebio or they call out to say courts na Ghana no. Regulated some aspect and practice and procedures of some of the courts. Now, Article 157 of Constitution say, and Chief Justice no. It is the job of the court committee. Then a Chief Justice court committee's job no. What just say Jumana solely or take a sad decision no. A sad decision and a 10 practice directive no and our directions no. It is not the job of the Chief Justice. The job of the court committee. And when you read the Constitution, Article 157, no, STT clearly say the Chief Justice is not supposed to do that. A court committee also here. Then a Chief Justice here, or say, and also Kaho, and also Chief Justice way, ya pamono. Now, say, in the exercise of such functions by the rule of court committee, the said committee is required to make the rules by constitutional instrument, but not by any other instrument. Into say sa emrana Chief Justice say sebio court ewo Ghana endis ni ade no e was say ade for the court committee no mo ye no mo krampo no e was say omudi constitutional instrument so e was say omudi emra so and enye any other emra into Chief Justice no e de emra foforo and sebio odema sa 10 directions no but practice directions no but anka wo hwema e was say court committee na ye omo krampo no emra da ho krogien e was say omudi so edidi sa adwuma no into who say Chief Justice I decide Madam Tokonu or the Supreme Court and na breaking law anytime any day she did not care anything that okache Mr. Kufuado a president say maame way sack her before the 7th of January. Now ukaiku enima the practice direction issued by the Chief Justice to regulate practice and procedures in certain matters in some of the courts were neither issued by the rule of the court committee nor by constitutional instrument as prescribed by the Constitution. In issuing the said directions, the Chief Justice usurped a function constitutionally reserved to the rules of court committee. It technically or basically the Chief Justice abused his or her office. The Chief Justice went against the law. Article 157. That alone, no, also Chief Justice Yapamono. Chief Justice has committed a lot of crimes. And the good thing about the petition is that the petitioner pointed to the crimes she has committed. And that is the most interesting thing about this petition. The petitioner was detailed. The petitioner directed the president to facts. And the petitioner told the president, if you even need people to be subpoenaed in front of the committee to back what I am saying now, they are all alive. You have the right to subpoena them. Put everything on camera for people to see that the Chief Justice has committed a crime and she does not deserve to be the Chief Justice of Ghana. So when you read the petitioner's petition, you could see, say, he was very clear, he was very detailed, he was very direct. He made the president understand and say, this is not out of hatred, this is out of patriotism, out of correcting the judicial malpractices the Chief Justice is involved in. Into a Chief Justice, President say, when your time a Chief Justice Nebuso. Now, when you get to point 49. I say it is important to add that the Chief Justice issued a direction at a ceremony to which several persons were invited and state resources expended to launch them. In so doing, the Chief Justice willfully caused financial loss to the state as the said direction have no force of law. That the disregard of the Constitution's clearly laid out process for issuing practice directions fits into the pattern of the Chief Justice's utter contempt for due process, rule of law, and the Constitution that she is enjoined to protect, preserve, and defend. Now, another point I would say, Yampam Chief Justice na ebine making of administrative guidelines unconstitutionally. Now, you read the answer. Who read the petition now? Udu point 51 or say by Article 159 of the Constitution, the Chief Justice is empowered to make regulations for the efficient performance of the functions of the Judicial Services and Judicial Council. The constitutional provision, however, says that such regulations must be made by the Chief Justice, A, acting in accordance with the advice of the Judicial Council, and with the approval of the President, and by constitutional instrument. Now, further, by Article 157, the Rules of Court Committee is empowered to make rules and regulations for regulating the practices and procedures of all courts in Ghana by constitutional instrument. In May 2024, when the Chief Justice launched her practice directions, they were launched with administrative guidance. These directions were made contrary to the constitutional provisions which regulates the making of such guidelines. Those practices, directives that were related to the practice and procedures of the courts were not only to be made by constitutional instrument, but only by the Rule of Courts Committee. The failure to use a constitutional instrument shows a disdain for collaborative rulemaking and preference for running a one-person show. So too is the usurpation of the functions of the Rules of Court Committee. The Constitution and our history clearly frowns upon a judiciary that depends on the solitary decision of one person. Inti petitioner no, I'm a president at TSC. Even the court committee no, so no, the Rule of Court Committee no, sa group no, answer me take sa decision say Ghana court nyina ebia say ye person take a decision with Ghana. Say Ghana court bia no also almost sitting at 9 a.m. and at the end of the case bia also case bia end 2 p.m. The Chief Justice does not have the right to just go to a function and give that direction. No. The Chief Justice has to consult the President. The Chief Justice has to consult the Parliament. The Chief Justice has to make sure say and yet or no take that sole decision. There is something we call the court the court committee. The court committee in the Krampono, they also have to work within some laws. They need a constitutional instrument to guide them to make those decisions. It's for the Chief Justice to solely make that decision and stand in public without consulting and making sure due process is followed. And just standing in public to say, I am giving this directive. The Chief Justice has flouted the law. It goes against Article 157. The Chief Justice knows the law, and the Chief Justice has deliberately broken the law, and that it means that the Chief Justice does not have to continue as the Chief Justice of Ghana. It was a president in the Pamono. It is looking like our Chief Justice breaks the law every 24 hours. From all that I've read, it's pointing to a Chief Justice who does not have respect for the rule of law. That is what I'm seeing. The Chief Justice does not have respect for the rule of law because the person who appointed her does not have respect for the rule of law. The President Ekufuado Omumrano. That is why Chief Justice Madam Tokonu, per what the petitioner is saying and the evidence he's given, she is also following suit. She is not respecting the rule of law. And Intina Oka say we have to make sure, sir, Mr. President, from what has been stated here, it was not just mere say. It was not just allegations. These are facts. Letters, meetings, dates. It was this side which says Mr. President also Pamo Madam Tokonu. Now, maame ko eye of be grounds for removal of the Chief Justice, Article 146. Petition and say, Mr. President, in Jinaso way, and a me Jinaso catcher or say Chief Justice the boom so yam pamono. Or say grounds for removal of the Chief Justice. Grounds for removal of the Chief Justice, Article 146. Now let's go to what the petitioner has written. The Constitution, or say Article 1461 of the 1992 Constitution provides that a justice of the Superior Court or a chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for, or see, Article 1461 actually our Constitution say Chief Justice eni say ya pam no actually bibi say esi na nyoma na actually esi no ene na petitioner no e ka actually Ekufuado or say 1 stated misbehavior or incompetence or on grounds of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from affirmity of body or mind. Now, Momiankai 62, as already stated, your petitioner's instant petition is grounded on the first two, which are stated misbehavior and incompetence. The two words are not defined by the Constitution. In discerning their meanings, however, recourse will be had to their literal, ordinary, and grammatical meanings. The reason for the recourse to the literal meaning of the words used in the Constitution is that the court have repeatedly held that regard be paid first to the literal rule of the words used in a statute, unless recourse to such meaning lead to absurdity. Now, the petitioner or say, nyoma ojina so a okasa na nado danko Ekufuado e wo se opam madam tokonu no sebio sa words na o use no obi beka say oh sa words a we use ye no Constitution enim inti adenti na words a any Constitution mu no yenjina so na yemfa pam madam tokonu o see sebio enche so bi kan che say o ma me control anse na wo so odi ma me atem obi betuma ka so ma me control ni nyina it still goes down say we did ma me atem. Now or see, even though we use the exact words in the Constitution, no, this word, no, literally, no, you cannot just take it and say, because he did not basically go into the Constitution to pick exact words to say, Mr. President, Article 64, these words and these words are the ones I am basing my reasons on for you to sack the woman. No, does not mean, say, he does not have a case in making sure that this woman has been fired. He is saying, say, even though, no, in semina ojina so ekasa these are the grounds I am from pam madam tokonu no enye nsema particular words no unu wo air constitution no does not mean say it does not reflect or it does not represent the Constitution and the parts of the Constitution he has quoted to support the words. Et say o kind Bible udru baby a friend Proverbs say o kind Proverbs say o kind Proverbs ni keke say mebusam and I say Proverbs now. You need to understand it in a certain way to understand what Proverbs the woman. And no petition I catch Mr. Ekufuado say those grounds na me so I can say pam madam tokonu no. Even though words like misbehavior and incompetence might not be found in the Constitution, no, it does not mean say when you basically sit down to look at her duties and the kind of inconsistencies and misbehavior, incompetence she has exhibited during her time or during her execution of her duties, no, it does not take away say the woman has committed a crime. Inti the word itself as misbehavior or incompetence, no, it does not mean say because it's not the Constitution, but I'm talking did not commit a crime. And no na oma nanado danko Ekufuado etias say sa words now we use to say stated misbehavior and now say incompetence, no, mema na adwene say any Constitution immunity madam tokonu embo krono. No, he's basically making the president understand. Now or see or person or share the meaning of stated misbehavior. Now or see the definition of misbehavior has evolved over time, but it typically includes into or share Mr. President to say sebio obika sa wona ni control ma the same person as some catch on say or did you maame atem enti we're using it in different language, but it all goes down to o maame baby. Or say the word misbehavior, abuse of office. The word misbehavior, it can also mean abuse of office. It's using administrative powers in a manner which brings the administration of justice into disrepute. Incompetence, demonstrating a lack of ability or capacity to perform judicial duties in accordance with the standards required and or expected of the office. 3. Unreasonableness, or say behaving in a manner that undermines public confidence in the judiciary, such as making decisions that are irrational, arbitrary, or engaging in inappropriate relationships. 4. Corruption, engaging in bribery or other forms of corruption. Moral turpitude. Moral turpitude is engaging in a conduct that is morally unacceptable, such as fraud or dishonesty. Now, Oma President Atia say, even though he did not use the exact words in the Constitution or the part of the Constitution he quoted, the words he used, they have evolved. They also have the same meanings as what the Constitution has been stating. Nobody should hide behind grammatical errors or using words just to say because he did not use this specific word, maame born in our wood, it at the end of the day we cannot punish her by sacking her, and that he's making people understand words they evolve. You can say words evolve here. As time goes on, they start to form different meanings. They start to magnet. As they move, they start to attract and they start to change. Their meaning starts to change, and so you cannot be static or be rigid and say because when you see some specific words in the Constitution, Madam Tokonu has not committed or flouted the laws of the Constitution or the land. It is very, very important. And until when you abutra or you get in some any brofo or use any word to match Mr. President say, it all means the same thing. The woman at the end of the day has not conducted herself well. She has misbehaved, and also she's incompetent to fill that office. Now, oko explanation of grounds of the petition. Oche misbehavior explanation, brazen constitutional violation. And oko down page 16. Page 16, disrepute. So what the petitioner did, and they say, the crimes the woman has committed, and he said, Obibe General Kacha said, because me, the petitioner, I did not use some kind of words or some kind of grammar in the Constitution. It does not clearly state to say the woman has committed a crime. And in petitioner, every single statement you make, he backed it with the Constitution, and where it clearly shows to say the woman, Madam Tokonu, has committed a crime. And or make a statement to be no appoint here to the Constitution. No, the catcher says statement way. When you link it to the behavior of the woman at this instance, it clearly goes against the Constitution. Inti Usha petitioner. That's what I'm saying. Say, Papa no Choko petition. He took his time to detail it, because when you want to let the world know, say the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana is not doing the right thing, you cannot just write a piece of paper and say sack her. You need to state, you need to be factual, you need to point to what crime she has committed and what crime she has committed against the state. And the petitioner from page 1, he has been able to link every behavior of this woman, which is contrary to what the Constitution states, to let us know, say, the woman has committed a crime. So it is not about grammar. It is not about you using exact words in the Constitution. It is about you pointing out the flaws and the abuse of office by using the Constitution and parts of the Constitution to back your statement. And clearly you can see, say, the petitioner, Mr. Asare, he backed every the allegation he made with facts to prove to the president to say they are not just mere allegations. These are allegations based on facts, and the facts can be pointed out through letters and also through the Constitution, what it says. Now, sir, Uridia Kodru the part where he wants to conclude that the petitioner, in his conclusion, Mr. President, this is what he said. The Chief Justice's actions discussed herein not only breach constitutional provisions, but also constitute stated misbehavior and confirm acts of incompetence. These actions undermine judicial independence and impartiality, represents an abuse of power, and creates a conflict of interest. Such actions meet the threshold of stated misbehavior and incompetence as outlined in Article 1461 and therefore constitutes grounds for removal. Also, Mr. President, in some evidence I made any the part of the Constitution me quote their support me grounds why the Chief Justice should be sacked. You need to understand it clearly shows that the Chief Justice has misconducted herself, she has misbehaved herself, and she has shown gross incompetence in administering her job. So the petitioner is telling the president, when you even take your time to look at the Article 1461, it clearly states, he has grounds to tell the president and Ghanaians as a whole, the Chief Justice basically has flouted the law, she has gone against the Constitution, and it is on the grounds she has to be removed. Wakyerɛ nyoma a ɛkyerɛ sɛ Chief Justice no ɛwɔ sɛ pam no and wankyerɛ ne kɛkɛ otusie ɛna ɔkyerɛ ɔyɛ deɛ ɔkyerɛ otu deɛ otu bayera no wakyerɛ sie otu bayera no wakyerɛ sie otu bayera wɔ beebi na ɔkyerɛ sie nti from what he has stated no ɔka kyerɛ Mr. President say in his conclusion no deɛ ma kyerɛ nyinaa kyerɛ sɛ Chief Justice no obu mmara so ɔyɛ incompetent ɔsa wa misbehaving ho and it calls for her sack as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Now, call a page point 113. I say the Chief Justice's role is to interpret and uphold the law, not to influence the selection process of other justices of the Supreme Court or to interfere in the operations of duly constituted panels. I say, Chief Justice the Juma say, "Obecheche Ghana mrem." The Juma no, I was say or making sure say, "Wacheche Ghana mrem na Ghana mrano wa bon ho ban." Say Chief Justice here na adwene say ordinance ebe keka judges edwuma omo ye. So here na adwene say omma eye judges any judicial services no omo nya adwene krogin emfa manage eye Ghana say be judiciary na say Chief Justice no or abusing the office and now say or go against the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Or could anyone not say or could anyone say? I'm trying to find where her involvement in the appointment process could unduly influence the president's decision, undermining the objectivity of the nomination process. Or see the Chief Justice here, it can influence the decision of the president because Chief Justice Chole Takoma president. No, guys, Mr. President, me na me the head of the judiciary. Me na me Chief Justice. Me was shortlisted people. Me was protocol list. Me pesa wodi omoba Chief Supreme Court. A bit may influence the decision of the president. Ebia na inkofona Chief Justice the Emma president as protocol list no 5 judges no. For all you know, ebia some of them are criminals. Ebia the Chief Justice is planning on conniving with some of them on personal basis or personal reasons to dupe the people of Ghana or to abuse their office. Until see for the Chief Justice to even just suggest those things to the president, clearly can confuse the president or can influence the decision of the president, meaning the Chief Justice, who is supposed to be the protector of the law and interpreter of the law, has now become the influencer of the law, has become the suppressor of the law. And like I said, we don't need such people or such persons to be the head of Ghana's judiciary. How could anyone not say? Here her overreach is contemptuous of the power of the Judicial Council, which she chairs. Her involvement in the appointment process could unduly influence the president's decision, undermining the objectivity of the nomination process. Her attempt to make side deals with the president puts her in a position where the president can make reciprocal demands. Or say, per the Chief Justice or throw letter. 2 letters behind the scenes without the Judicial Council knowing and conniving with the president and telling the president to do her a favor by bringing in a list she thinks is better for her. No, also the dangerous woman say a day will come the president will also ask the Chief Justice for a favor, and that will at the end of the day undermine the justice system in this country. It means that the president, yes, I favor with my chief justice. A day will come where the president's daughter will be starting trial. The president will pick a phone and call the chief justice and say, let it go. Abraham said the president's daughter has committed a crime through an ambulance deal of about $32 million. The chief justice will make sure the judge who sits on the panel or sits on the case will tell Ghanaians say, Jan Kuruma is not guilty. Into see, these are the reasons why it is very dangerous for the chief justice to be suggesting to the president and having secret meetings with the president, and then their own personal vendetta or personal reasons, to be imposed on the judiciary or on the court. Into say, very dangerous. When it becomes a barter trade between the president and the chief justice, then it means to say we don't have a judicial system, we don't have a justice system, and these are the reasons why Oka said the chief justice must be sacked. Now, Oko Enima or say, she is therefore fatally compromised. The Constitution and the established protocols dictate the process for judicial nomination, and any deviation from these procedure is unlawful. Similarly, her reconstitution of panels impairs parties' right to a fair trial and could unduly influence the panel's decision, undermining the impartiality of the adjudication process. It strikes at the core of Article 1573, which is intended to prevent any interruptions in the judicial process and ensure continuity and accountability until a final decision is made. Her reconstitution of panels is an abuse of power in violation of the constitutional benchmark for the exercise of discretion power. The Chief Justice has no administrative role once a panel is formed and cannot interfere with the judicial functions of a panel by changing members on the panel. Public confidence in the judicial system relies on the perception of fairness and impartiality. The Chief Justice's actions described would further erode this confidence, suggesting favoritism or partiality and introducing needless frictions within the judiciary. Judicial ethics requires judges to avoid actions compromising their independence or judiciary's independence. Proposing nominees could be seen as engaging in political activities, generally discouraged, if not bad for judges. Now, the all can say, the Chief Justice take a decision to interfere. Judge or better cases so. Making sure say as seminar air questionno obetime judge no the judge for abesho obetime catch obi say wo de kwahya ha wo de ochina memo atena we so wo de by force ranchen or see sa djuma de no enye chief justice djuma into the moment that chief justice be na aju say obeye sa de no, then it means say pepe yo and answer your court no and judiciary no bibi a friend pepe yo and answer justice no, it will never be realized. If we say chief justice cost yes sa de na, then some judges will be ruling in favor of the chief justice and maybe accomplices of the chief justice. Some of the judgments will be in favor of some people who are not supposed to get a favorable judgment. He is saying say the conduct and actions of the chief justice continuously reconstituting and entering panels and contradicting and forcing judges on and off their cases, which isn't her job. No, the Chief Justice is overstepping her boundaries. The Chief Justice is abusing her power, and most importantly, that confidence and belief Ghanaians a judicial system. No, the Chief Justice through her actions, no, by influencing and infiltrating, and at the end of the day, putting her powers and imposing herself on the judges sitting on cases and reconstituted panels. No, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? And they say, GDN na Ghana for our judicial system. No, sa GDN ebe yira. Yira so a sebio Ghana for ne ho be kire. Na oba asewa na o say judicial ethics requires judges to avoid actions compromising their independence or the judiciary's independence. Proposing nominees could be seen as engaging in political activities, generally discouraged, if not bad for judges. Professor Jando warned us of the dangers of an unrestrained Chief Justice when he opined that, and I quote, "If we so unfortunate as to get for our Chief Justice a cynical, mischievous, and obstinate individual who always had the ear of the president, at least a sizable section of the judiciary could be subject to mayhem with not too remote consequences of bedlam." End of quote. The mayhem is already upon the judiciary, and the bedlam will follow unless swift actions are taken to remove the Chief Justice from office on the grounds prayed and in accordance to Article 146 of the Constitution. That's the 1992 Constitution. And the petitioner says, I therefore petition the President to initiate proceedings to remove the Chief Justice from office to uphold the Constitution, maintain the integrity of the judiciary, and restore public confidence in our judicial system. Please do not hesitate to contact me for any further information or clarification. Respectfully submitted, Professor Stephen Kweku Asare, P.O. Box 12889, Accra North. Telephone 02635299907. Email kwekuasare@gmail.com. So that is the petition. Petition now, and the Yadia Kome Kufuadwa, ye jinaso, akase, Madame Tokonu, I will say a pamono, and then I made you machro all the evidence, emu letters, secret meetings, secret letters, Chief Justice Chokome Kufuadwa, against the Constitution. Any basis the petitioner actually say grounds are actually say the misbehavior and also the incompetence, and the Chief Justice at the end of the day infiltrating our judicial system, imposing her will on our judicial system, and also favoring the president and his government on some political cases. The facts are there. He has pointed to the part of the Constitution that clearly states the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana has to be sacked. And it is very important that we all understand he still has days. He needs to take action. He needs to constitute a committee. He needs to make sure the process starts. Mema obi mbedane na nonka kase nanado dankwe kufuado nembra so ade oyamba so Mahama ba ye na wabebie committee. John Mahama is not president. Ekufuado needs to take action. So nanado dankwe kufuado and take action. Na John Mahama beto petition we no take action. Nobody should say a witch hunt. This is something Ekufuado needs to do. So believe the Chief Justice is not guilty. She has not abused her office. She is not an autocratic Chief Justice who is incompetent. Nanado dankwe kufuado should form a committee and make sure this is heard on camera for us to know, the petitioner is making a case or is not. And if the Chief Justice is clean and squeak, and the Chief Justice has not committed a crime, we all will come back and say she should go back to the Supreme Court and occupy that office. If Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo fails to take action on this petition, then it means we the people will have to force the next government to take decision on this petition. And it's very important you and I understand this ABC. You say it's about time we Ghanaians, patriotic citizens, for some time now, the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, Boss Mamo, take here for granted. Especially we, the Ghanaians who voted for the NDC government to come to power. And the patriotic Ghanaians who are not affiliated to any political party who decided to make sure this government loses power to give power to the NDC. It is looking like Jane Mensah, Bossman, they don't respect we. And right now, I believe the Electoral Commission, they need to come under pressure to deliver. I believe we need to have a march to the office of the Electoral Commission. We all need to get on the streets peacefully to let the Electoral Commission come out with final results of these elections. It is beginning to look like a deliberate. It is beginning to look like mandate near the moment they want to abuse it. It is looking like they don't want to respect we the citizens. Bossman Asare, Jane Mensah, and the rest of the guys at the Electoral Commission, they don't respect we the people, the decision we took, the pains we went through. Because as I speak, so many people died during these elections electing John Mahama. So Senipa Enkwa in 2020, Nipa 8 ewuye, and in 2024 Nipa sewu. Now ya two baby getting to 2 weeks. Now Electoral Commission say they don't want to give us the official presidential result. Then we all have to march to the Electoral Commission office because we need a closure. There should be closure to this. The Electoral Commission needs to put a closure on these elections. As we speak today, nobody has contested the presidential elections in all the 40,000 polling stations across the nation. So what is stopping Jane Mensah, any Bosman Asare, and the Ekufuado Electoral Commission from giving us the final presidential results? We don't care about parliamentary. The parliamentary can deal with itself. But as a nation, it looks like the disrespect from Jane Mensah is getting out of hand. It is now beginning to look like, say, it is beginning to look like, say, we as Ghanaians, we need to make sure, say, the Electoral Commission, they basically give us, Mr. S, it looks like the Electoral Commission led by Jane Mensah, people have died. We are mourning. We want a closure to these elections. All the constituencies, 275 constituencies in this country, Yatuaba, a president. Nobody has contested. John Dramani Mahama uncontested results. No, Mahamudu Bawumia has not contested the presidential results. The NDC, the NPP, nobody has contested the presidential results. So why is it so difficult for the EC led by Jane Mensah to also deliver? Because we are just here. We don't know. They are not updating the percentages. They are not updating the final figure. As we sit in Ghana, almost a week. The results are Jane Mensah, the final result. We want to know exactly what John Mahama got, and we want to know exactly what Bawumia got. But this is the situation whereby all the 276 constituencies are Jane Mensah recording. She's not even giving us the respect to even come out to tell us. Then it means that we the people have to walk to you. We need to make this a national walk, a national peace walk. We need to walk to the EC to demand for that, because it is looking like our patriotism and also our humility and our respect for the rule of law and respect for the constitution and the democracy we are enjoying. Majority of Ghanaians have decided to sit back to at least allow you to do your job. But it's becoming like you people are purely disrespecting the people's intelligence. You are taking advantage of that democracy that we want to practice. So I believe, say, it's about time, and this goes to the grassroots, that we need to put together a national march to the Electoral Commission's office. Nobody's going to fight anyone. Nobody's going to fight the police. We want the Electoral Commission in less than 24 hours come out with the presidential results. Why don't we have presidential results? The chaos we are seeing around the nation is because the Electoral Commission has refused to update to tell us the final presidential results. Obviously, every election we get people contesting the parliamentary results, which is fine. The parliamentary results are definitely different from the presidential results. So why is the EC almost a week not able to tell us to say, this is what Mahama got and this is what Bawumia got? So the EC wants to tell us to say, without the parliamentary result in the respective constituencies that has not been declared, we cannot know the result of the presidential elections. There's something sketchy going on. The Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, they don't respect us. It's about time we made them understand that we are a peaceful nation. We are not going to allow Jane Mensah sign attitude in Libya to plunge this country into chaos, because there are some people sitting on the line now. They want to take advantage of that to destroy this nation. They want to take advantage of Jane Mensah not bringing out the final result to destroy the democracy we are enjoying in this nation. And we the people are not going to allow Jane Mensah to do that. So we are going to peacefully walk to the EC's office in our thousands. We are going to walk in our millions. We are going to demand that the Jane Mensah administration, they should come out with the presidential result, the final presidential result, because we need it. It will actually put some level of peace in the system. Ghanaians today, we are living in some tensed atmosphere. We don't even know what is going on. People are taking advantage of the system and telling us to say, Jane Mensah, some of our results buy so they can misbehave. Today, people are burning schools because ballot boxes are in schools. We all know that all presidential ballot has been counted. We know every presidential ballot has been counted. So why is Jane Mensah and the EC not giving us the final result? It is because Mahmoud Bawumia got less than 38%. But it is looking like all the diplomacy and all the niceness. We have been very nice, we have been very cool. It's about time we the people made Jane Mensah understand the Ghana nyane dia. She does not own the country. She does not have the country as her property. We will have to show her that she needs to work for us. We are going to mobilize ourselves. We will mobilize ourselves. We will come out in our thousands. We are going to come to the Electoral Commission. The Jane Mensah administration needs to come out tomorrow morning with a final presidential result, election 2024, or else we will all not fit in Ghana. At this point, we all know John Mahama won the elections. We want the final result from the Electoral Commission. We want the final presidential result from the Electoral Commission, and that should be done in less than 24 hours. This is a message to the EC. In less than 24 hours, if the Electoral Commission does not give us the presidential result, we don't care about parliamentary. The parliamentary result will deal with itself. It will take care of itself. In fact, there are courts that are there waiting for parliamentary election conflict or issues to resolve those problems. At least we know that every presidential ballot has been counted. The EC has no excuse. The Jane Mensah EC, they have no excuse. They cannot plunge this country into chaos. It is a deliberate move. It is a deliberate move by Akufo-Addo and the NPP government to destroy the democracy of this nation. We will have to stop this plan by Akufo-Addo. Jane Mensah, Bosman Asare, we are giving them 24 hours. In less than 24 hours, we need to get the presidential results in Ghana, or else it will not be pretty. Or else it is not going to be pretty. And we want the NDC to release a statement to tell the Electoral Commission that we need the presidential results, the final presidential results. They need to update us. They need to give us the final number. We don't care about parliamentary. So this is a message to the NDC, to the chairman, to the general secretary, to the president-elect, to the vice president-elect. This is supposed to be done. So many people have died because of the negligence and stupidity of Bosman Asare and Jane Mensah. We cannot afford this to happen again. So this is a straightforward caution to the EC. In 24 hours, we will, if we don't hear anything from the EC, we will gather the biggest force in Ghana to work to the Electoral Commission. We will use every arsenal in our pocket, everything. We will use our platforms to gather the biggest human gathering to walk peacefully to the EC's office. We need it. It needs to be given to Ghanaians. It is our right to know who won the elections. We want the final figure. Jane Mensah, in less than 24 hours, Bossman, if we don't get this, it will not be pretty. Your respective homes, it will not be pretty. We don't want you people to push us anymore. We are done. We are tired. We say presidential elections, we are giving you people 24 hours. The presidential results on your website, we need to see it. Since you came out with the first results, ever seen there, you have not updated us again. You have not put anything on your website. You have not, because we all know someone can abandon in a way. Presidential or Ghana, you can't in a way. Meaning baby, I ain't kind presidential. I don't know anywhere. Mubet say the presidential elections, you can't in. So at this point, why don't we have the presidential final results? Why are you people always pushing this country to that point where our democracy, the best say? Why? We are going to protect our democracy, and some people, if they have to fall, they will fall. This is a warning. We are demanding the final election, presidential election results. This is a demand from Ghanaians. We are demanding the result in less than 24 hours. We are demanding the presidential results of the 2024 elections in less than 24 hours. Or else, you will see the biggest gathering on the streets of Ghana straight to the Electoral Commission. This is the final warning. This is our rights, and we deserve to know. So whoever is watching us, we give the EC 24 hours. They need to update their website. They need to give us the final presidential results. We need it because we are the ones who paid for this election to be conducted. It is our property and we deserve to know the result. 24 hours. 24 hours. In the next 24 hours, if J. Mensah decides to keep the final result, it will not be pretty for anybody at the Electoral Commission. It will not. All right. Now, this is some of the stories I want us to deal with now. Yeah, and to me, upon today's show. Now, you see the story. The transition team, I catch the NDC for say, you are not supposed to treat this NPP government with soft gloves. They are crazy people. They are deliberately destroying this democracy, and we are not supposed to allow them to destroy the democracy. Into the idea, say, even the transition team, when they go for meetings, after meetings, right now there's been meetings between the NDC incoming administration and Ekufuor administration where the transition committee was put together. It was inaugurated. But what is happening, they say, even though in the meeting they have come to a gentleman's agreement and say no recruitment should be done, no payments should be made. Ekufuor the government, they are still recruiting criminals into our security agencies. They are recruiting criminals into institutions, people who are not qualified. They are blowing or bloating what we call the national purse. They want to create some kind of deficit. Into party foot soldiers are qualify to enter any institution. They are still employing. Abraham meeting. Martina John Mohammed Akase, you are not going to employ today. The committee, the transition team, they have released a statement and they sent this strong statement to the NPP. Almost say, Honorable Chief Justice. Sorry. This is the transition team. No, letter release here. This is the letter. Almost say, the transition team of the President-elect John Dramani Mahama. Almost say maybe Koso. Almost the NPP for they don't want to show respect. They are still bent on doing their nonsense, and it has to stop. Now, this is what they are doing. John Mahama office actually let be about or say last minute payment and recruitment by the outgoing administration. The transition team of the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has noted that despite an agreement reached at the second meeting of the joint transition team held on Friday, 13 December 2024, that last minute recruitment, payment and such other actions be cleared with joint transition team, the NPP government continues to undertake these activities without recourse to the agreement. John Mahama, the office, and then the transition team, the letter about Bontin say, "Omoni NPP for tracing transition team na kase, mamunya any more recruitment, mamunya any payment biya, baby aye du munjina wa na yenya de wo say ye." And so almost the woman who say, Nana the Danko Ekufuor aban no, any a munipa, omono matnase, ayan krata akase, and say you recruiting the pebia, your funny pebia. Now yet sika kesebia ma obiano. They are doing it. Into they are sending a message say they are being very disingenuous. Nana the Danko Ekufuor the transition team no, they are insane, they are stupid people. They don't care. They have broken the law. They want to even put more criminals into our security institutions. They want to pay some monies to some individuals who don't deserve it. Into John Mahama administration said they are sending a message. Now, second paragraph, I'm saying the transition team of the President-elect wishes to state emphatically that given the bad faith displayed by the government, all these payments, recruitment and transfers and promotions, some of which have been backdated, will be reversed and, where necessary, public officials responsible for them held to strict account when a formal transfer of power takes place. John Mahama say, or catch a transition team, they say, Nipa mo for musisiana, my agreement, semi phobiano. Say, Yameboa, not 7 December, a sweating in our reversing in. Who officials who shall see or backdate appointment? Say, if I nipa be 2 years ago. You find maybe 3 years ago, no. Sao official, I was no. John Mahama said, "Onya to me ya na ye be hwehwe nkratema. Wo sa nipa na wo hye ye be jelu." Almost say they are telling obia se bi oya for the juma around this time. Abaya for say resist and move away from that. because John Mahama had the one in the Kufuado. Do not, because matna say akasa. Much less say yen your promotions, yen send it yen to sika mo bia, yen sa en recruit enti John Mahama ban a catch mo amudi anima mo ba date appointment letters. Mo some fake promotions ewa aban mu. Mo tia sika bi anisa mutia no. Almost say omo ba do reverse it and mo commit sa crime no, you end up in jail. Now oko asiawa the final paragraph almost say John Mahama say, for the avoidance of doubt, all public officials are strongly cautioned to resist pressure from outgoing political actors to engage in these acts as they could attract severe consequences and when the new government takes office. John Mahama say, so you buy munipa, we are chief director, we are one, we are manager. Now say politician be more pressure say for nipa be adwuma, for the padudo be adwuma, to yasike be or si jai. And yes sir, omoba power ubeko jail. And this was signed by Felix Ofusukwachi, spokesperson, Mahama Transition Team. You see, Makachre NDC for say, do not see the MPP, this current administration, say they are good people, they are bad people. So we see utterances after losing the elections cry. So we see kwasiakasa omo kan parliament. Uhu said ya omu nu omo kwasia abetestila. They don't even know that they have hurt people. They don't even care. They see it as this is politics as usual. Omu Ghana for say ye Jimmy. So the NDC administration, the coming administration, they should not treat this NPP people with soft gloves. John Mahama should be hard on them. Those who have to serve jail time have to serve jail time. Those who have to be beaten have to be beaten. Those who have been corrected have to be corrected, because we cannot allow lawlessness. People breaking law and making it look like say omane etimuno emrani minim, and then they can do whatever they like. Something drastic needs to be done to reset this nation. And if you are going to reset this nation, you are not supposed to be nice, because these fools are people who don't understand simple language. MPP, for a majority of them, they don't care about Ghana. They see us say because the president himself, he does not respect the Constitution of the Republic. The Chief Justice, as we can see, these are people who don't care about you and I. Into what I want the NDC administration, the incoming administration, to understand and say, when you sit on the table or at the table with these people, don't treat them as mere normal politicians. Treat them as enemies. They are dangerous. As we speak today, they are still planning and plotting how to kill your president-elect. Yes. When you go to meetings with these people, don't see it as a brother and sister thing. These are crazy people. If they get you to kill your president today, they will do it. They are bad people. You people should not treat them as people. And we can hear and we can see it from their actions and their utterances. They don't care, because they have stolen to the point where they think they are so powerful that opposition cry, they can use the money they have stolen to suppress the people. That is what, and that is how they feel now. So my advice to the transition team, now you know clearly that these people don't care. You know clearly that these people don't respect you. So don't show them any respect. Do not show them any respect. Let them understand this is not business as usual. Let them understand that this is a new government. This is a government that is coming to reset the nation. Government needs to be nullified. We need to reset this nation. We need to make sure the right thing is done. It is very, very important. It is very important, because these people will do everything possible. They are bent on doing everything. Here, let me tell you, open Nipa or Ghana or under spiritual attack pa in Ghana today, John Mahama. Open Nipa or under spiritual attack. Every 24 hours, it's not easy for him to come out of 24 hours, John Mahama. And Akuma Pantina, he's still alive. Nana Danko Ekufuado them, they are still working everything to kill John Mahama. I'm telling you, John Mahama Nakuma Pantina is still alive. John Mahama Nakuma Pa, the good heart of Wontino or Dahotiasi. Say Onyankopon Ema Kwaya, they will kill John Mahama. I'm telling you, it is only the protection of God until John Mahama is still alive. The Ekufuado team, they are crazy people. I'm telling you, people. Don't underestimate these people. They kill their own and laugh. They kill John Kuma. They kill JB Dango. They kill and laugh. They don't care. And they will go every length. The priority of Akufo-Addo is to make sure John Mahama Obekunu answer on 7 January. That is Akufo-Addo's priority now. And Meka Obia or under spiritual attack in Ghana today. Every 24 hours be able to be survivor. Also John Mahama. He is going through a lot. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. You are not supposed to treat Akufo-Addo and Nkoffo as humans. We need to treat them like criminals. We need to treat them like animals. We are not supposed to create any room for them. These are dangerous people. They kill their own and laugh about it. They are dangerous. They are scavengers. These are dangerous animals. They don't believe in the Ghana we all want to build. They don't believe in the resetting of this nation. They don't care. They believe, say, they need to take power at all costs. That is why we are not supposed to relax. We are supposed to be vigilant. And anytime I say the Electoral Commission say in the next 24 hours, say result of the election, sir. I am sending this message to the Interior Minister. You cannot handle this. I am sending this message to Henry Korte. The Electoral Commission, some will peace in this country. Some will say Bibia Kodrodwa. In the next 24 hours, the Interior Minister sit with Jemensa and tell her to release the final results of the presidential elections. And I'm sending this message to you, Henry Korte, because you know what is right. I respect you and I expect you to do the right thing. You should sit with the EC and tell the EC that to make sure you can maintain the peace in this nation in 24 hours, we need the presidential final result on their website. They need to come out in a press conference to tell us Ghanaians the John Mahama Nyaye and the Bawumia Nyaye. And yes, sir, in the next 24 hours, the EC will not see anything good. I'm telling you people. And I'm sending this message to you, Henry Korte. It is your job to maintain the peace in the country. We are at least giving you the respect. You have 24 hours to sit down with Jemensa to give us the presidential results. We don't care about parliamentary. There are courts that can deal with the parliamentary issues. We are concerned about the presidential, and we cannot wait anymore. In 24 hours, we need the results. And yes, sir, the EC office will be an enemy to the people. Now, there's something I want you to understand. Right now, where they be at the MPP Fuano, and they want to create something in your head. Time John Mahama called Jubilee House, Okushi Akufo-Addo. Ne Akufo-Addo Kasano. And I'm sure a Bibi man say on can a speech nim. Say, oh, the country economy has recovered. Omobua. We steady Akufo-Addo, any finance minister we are. They every time they get any opportunity to speak on camera, almost say we are handing over a strong economy. Omobua is lie. The economy is sick. You know why they are doing that? They will come back very soon and tell you, say, time and I free power. Now there's a video. Akufo-Addo can say economy ni they are lying. Ghana's economy is dead. This guy is doing politics. The economy, Ghana economy, I say there's no money. And they know, say economy not say, but propaganda no more ye. Almost person after 7 January, no. What they will do is say they will cut the pieces of a year almost statement. You know the better TV. So hey, time and ye free abemuno. Ye catch there a year Mahama say ye a very robust economy. They are lying. These are the people who told us in 2019 say our economy was resolute. COVID-19 hit and you said we didn't have an economy. Anytime you see this finance minister also in Kremoni or Munafiki, we on kind of correct. Or you preko in Kremoni papa or then mama bought from a sala every day or kind of correct. He will not lie, say the economy is robust. He's lying. A Akufo-Addo mona catch and say on kasa na omuncha tapes on to ho. Send a beya omuko positioner. What they will do in the say, they will come out and tell you, say, oh, Mokai, John Mahama called Jubilee House, no. Now the Danko Akufo-Addo in his speech said, the economy is a strong economy they are handing over to NDC. Omobua, the economy is dead. Where are you preko? When you Kremoni papa, a criminal. Achim for a bedisika na order nekatama ebeta free binino. Achim for 7 years. Omo disika a car 2 minutes mayor and Rossi for 10 years boaba kumra no meta free binino. So Amin Adams, he's being used as a wipe to clean shit. Amin Adams, Ken Oforiata, any MPP, Achim Sakawafono for 7 years. Ye can't say Kufuor Empam Oforiata when fear. Omo we are Ghana Siken, we are no 10 year boaba, because Amin Adam Jimmy for our catcher Babetta free Bini. Ghana's economy is done. I say this is Jandam, a propaganda. Almost Shadana Omu thrown into the system. Omo per se, a year Omu media for no fat. Hey, winim. Where the moment go back, moment go for video no. E Kufuor do cry no. Time Mahama call no kan ye. Amin Adams cry before a year John Mahama yes so in or kan mo boa. Economy na say. John Mahama say. Say nkwasi afo we sorry a obebi books ni mo akire. We will see what these people have done. This guy is just using his tongue to clean the shit of Oforiata. No Ghanaian should trust these people. Ghana's economy has collapsed. These are the same foolish people who just told us, say, they didn't have money. That is why they did not pay NAPCO beneficiaries. They didn't have money. That's why they couldn't recruit nurses. They know there's no money. They know the economy is a mess. They just want to have some sound bites using in opposition. That is why this foolish guy calling himself Amin Adams. In Kremonia on Kanokre, you on Kremo for papa, eh? O Kremoni or Bemba Omia on Kanokre. Baomia down for your Kremonibia or Muna Fiki on Kanokre. Every Muslim you see on the Baomia Nyonkono or you preko. I am telling you. Me say. Kremoni bia obehuni bia one ba omia nam one ne ya damfo bia na owi preko onye kremoni papa ebinie. This is one of the pork eating Muslims in Ghana. He's a liar because oyen kremoni papa ode mama bofom kan okura onka sase wo nchire Ghana for abra onim the mess that has been caused by Baomia and NPP. Now here bia AC. Let me show you something. Here bia AC. You see this? ECG inaugurates new prepaid intelligent master system in Kumasi. The catch them say, Asantimini and Masantifo. MPP. Debia Meka, Messi Sebio, Oya Santini and Yakwasia. You see, ECG for and this MPP. Do big Mahama Kron Fono, Sakwano. Me catch them before election say, meters are Baumi, Napo. Ekos Sabayano. I was said to big Mahama or Tony na. Meters na go fio na every musika nyana napo deal and on it do big Mahama any haptel for and I come with your boom and na omu boom and almost sorry almost so Kumasi the meter bi aba ho almost friend prepaid intelligent master system meter e dey be any intelligent master system meter almost the meter bi aba Kumasi na sa meter na aba Kumasi no intelligent prepaid intelligent. Almost say, Oma inaugurate. They be almost starting kwasa. Someone starting Kumasi. But catch them. Ready? Me minimum cry me ya. Me say, MPP for person almost starting kwasi asemi. Omu mwa santifo. En kwasi asemi ano. Omu refrain crying. Abe inaugurate intelligent meter Kumasi. Buzangusa dentra. Because they know they don't respect Asantifo. Omunim say Asantifo do no musa questions. Omunim say MPP for do no mugo no. Sebio MPP hu Asantifo ni bi so yankokɔ into offering crying. Watra nkokɔ, watra joso, watra eye tech, watra eye watra eye fumesa, watra eye okrofuom, watra ho nyina de aba eye de kejetia oso be lunch bibi efe no. Eye intelligent prepaid intelligent meter. Now my main kind story in intro. Asiafo MP before we Jimmy fucking tia way. The innovation prepaid master meter is set to replace the existing postpaid and prepaid meters currently in use for residential and industrial purposes. Almost said smart meter now, intelligent meter no. Sir, recently almost prepaid meter almost have a sano. Mr. P, there is an interview of Dubik Mahama either at City or Joy talking about these meters. The catch said Dubik Mahama or crowd for say Jinu Budukuno. Or no George say Ofui, that foolish guy. on a haptel for no oma destroy ECG ka bia wo Ghana bia ope bia Dubik Mahama obi sa kwa no mekire ne kafia Dubik Mahama mekire ne kafia wo Ghana tell us not ho ena oye tu no Kevin me say Dubik Mahama obeko jail ECG operations about 32% ni nyina eyeka under Dubik Mahama and or say some meters no the brem na nsia 300 me ma me fie. Do you know how much they buy in a week? 1,000 Ghana cedis light. Yeah. A fear me ma me team. They buy light 1,000 Ghana cedis in less than a month. After 1.5 weeks, they have to buy 1,000 Ghana cedis credit. And these meters they are using are meters omuji ya end 6 months. These are the same meters at ECG the bromo. Ade chinya ECG say I or say the meter for fraba where they friend intelligent meter. Meter need to make toilet no copy part to we are not the toilet to das bi mu no abebo meter intelligent. Anajo ya da no otumi si from no nkran ne dia gro we are not akotare da ho intelligent meter. Meter otumi bu nsuo 34 bucket no de kwesi dan chi no water flowers no asa betare da. Omo the intelligent meter ba kumase. Intelligent meter anajo otumi ko wurom koku eyedian otwen na we yini yemu bini no de abeyan kwan onum wi a na asa akotare da ho intelligent meter enkwasi asaba nkofo we ti Ghana edi no intelligent meter. Now okay story now. Mr. Asumeni Wiafe, General Manager, Ashanti East Region of the ECG, speaking during the unveiling of the new meter at the Menchia District. The new meter at the unveiling the new meter at the Menchia District Office in Kumasi said the new smart meter was anticipated. Hey, I'm watching. Okay, we can go back into intelligent meter. Yes, almost starting on Menchia District. Hey, now when you ebia what you can chiro, you be intelligent meter. I say MPP for the Kumasi intelligent meter. And then they can't want some chiro. Anticipated. And they have anticipated. Now I see, Mr. Asumeni, we are General Manager, Ashanti East Region of the ECG, speaking during the unveiling of the new meter at the Menchia District Office in Kumasi, said the new smart meter was anticipated to address the issue of power losses and enhance revenue generation. He said electricity pilferage continued to pose a significant challenge to the company's smooth operation, and that the new prepaid meter was equipped with advanced features capable of tampering, commonly known as illicit power connections. Say the meter for ba your friend intelligent smart meter. Now intelligent smart meter no be start no Menchia District Otufo area ho. Now meter na your friend intelligent smart meter. Meter bia sebio moda na dwono na esi form na ekokeje tia. Na according to store ni mo amount to store mu okeka credo na sim your friend smart meter. Moda na dwona ya deda no meter ni tumi si for no ahyehyet na okokeje tia na wakosto bia ya nto credo bi no akesim kra so bia pure water na wan chichire na wachechire in time of for na smart meter sa betare ho smart meter no edwuma bia odin ni se bia sebio wo ye beifo na bia bia akwa no wanya nam o ba smart meter tumi koku otwe na odi emu otwe ne yemade no ebini na ye nkwan esiwo na watena se atwen wode ne nsa wode abɔ nkwan ni no de sini hwena no inti wo beifo no ba na se woni nam a na wotwa enam ni bi no wato owia na wahyehye de wakotare da no smart meter no almost smart meter e betuma yema kumasofo ne se bia wo de sebio abrochira nko bi da smart meter tumi sore nwumbre etumi fast etu kwa akra ko ba passport na waje visa na de beto kan na de be kine da ho na wabetare ho smart meter we nyina ye be ye no Menchia District smart meter de obi ani say nyoma bi otumi ye MPP for smart meter no nyoma bi otumi ye ne say bia uye nipa bi ono Petition pa na yaka cho sa na jo beda men nom kese nti wada no smart meter tumi e de insuo kakra be fra Petition no se na be ahomache se wo pe push up onum a enye strong na se woni so e betetom kakra smart meter tumi esa nyonya no asa beda smart meter e meter bi a sa meter no anadwoma da no e bia kitchen ho nkura ne nam ho a why wenyim de nkura otumi wura ho no apam nkura no e bia mo ya benkwan man kata so no akata so ebi so ebi amu ya jollof and ebi a beans kakra wom otumi ewre nchen se na be ya eye de eye emua bi entumi te se ntafrem ba ho owre nchen no a no de eye de rubber kata so kata chensi tire no so smart meter to be tire fie moda no otumi nwan so hie si wo anopa dum so ba mutumi de bi dware ahomache no abetare ho smart meter we nyina dwuma ye no eye no menhia district me see MPP omu asantefo se mo gimi enti smart meter no smart meter is a thief I open meter wiade chronometer it is a smart smart sapon smart meter is smart sapon no ye post we dey busan say oh I dey na post number so na maame ewu we jimi brutal akwara ye post my people no ojo musika di we na say busan smart sapon post ya we amfa ho baby any where ye dwuma so true time na omo ya research ni ade no eduru baby ni maame wu ye ntomu jai ko ye yie omo ba ye no eno mu say omo beto aso anything na shift e the pose so we aboa Mr. S get me the story smart sapon ka kire MPP for say or to say smart meter smart sapon the smart meter say na tie akronfo mienu sa smart sapon na okoye eye MPP for pose no on smart meter say ewifo mienu smart sapon say ono wakoye pose ma ye to aba ni wie no ato afa ho ma amfa bebia o say oh true time na all your post ni ade no mfimfini na ne maame wuye into ojato ho koye yie into oba na dynamics na sesa ene na o maame wuye na oba na obeto aso no de na wunya 50.9 oh right ya go bo and before mo jimi o all right maame tell story bi besides now, share story we na me cheche bibi munchiro. Oh, besides, where's that story? Smart sapon beka kire say ni maame na wu ye ntina eye post no. O say ohun say MPP fo na Jimmy. I have a story to show you, but say, Mr. P, Mr. S, do you have that story? When you get it, just send it to me. Smart sapon. Wasi o waye we go enya kwase na Paul Adomo chigina o ka kire and matter say Paul I apologize to Musa Dan kwase a obewu before 25th. Hwe smart sapon we that MPP for ko jisika 2 million also what ko post obebo mo wini and so jimo fama no o say why bibia MPP benya 50.9 but omia they will carry the and any see ate afia to abani we as smart sapon so oh ne maame wu ye time na oye eye no post no oye research no intin finfin no ema nyoma bi ye rough na maame wu ye akoye yie ba ye no so sa beto aso intin ye den na wunya 50.9 ma ba omia. Mr. S, do you have the smart sapon story? Baby, I make no heavy. I say, me chill. Said the make an enyatro. Sane beya utie me every day. But say Kevin there. So who say okay so be a Jimmy for or reason to okay say the Jimmy for. Mr. S, Mr. P, if you don't have it, I can move on. Team, get me the story. Smart sapon reasons not mine. I think we had it in the archives. It's very important. Okay, team Ninja ready. When they are ready, they will send it. Now, I'm sure story. You see this story? I am a forecaster, a very important CBTS assembly. In time before catcher will say, hey, some people before catcher will say, hey, they are handing over a strong economy to Mahama or Boa. This is what the IMF is saying. IMF is saying, tackle energy sector deficit with bold reforms. IMF edges Ghanaians or edges Ghana. IMF for catcher Ghana for say, your energy no. On say and the whole Ghana doom so ho. In Kofu we only doom so not to temwache. What na doom so almost 2 years. Someone say no kre na yenka ye Jimmy ntra. And ya man kwase afo biti radio so no mo dada ye. On say and the whole Ghana there's doom so. These people my experience doom so for a long time. Now point and when say we for toilet aye tiem ka kire say ye ne enkopa timetable mbra. You see say right now in Ghana doom so is seriously enforced. The issue is that a kana o mabatu no enye kakatoa e ka eye napo dubik mahama ekufo de busuafo no abatu in the energy sector no masa mesin kofo we sori aban mu na bobo se enye easy hwe light na edundum na omde asie na dum so ni ho na de ni ho wo de ma eye de ma eye ekufo adon sorry muti dum so mu and from now till time e be so John Mahama in no bra mo be bre as a nation no Dumsa Mube Film. Thank you very much, Mr. S. Mr. S, which one is this? Besides, which video is this? It's Brian Kofu ebe mama femu no. I am a famam warning say mo energy no mo kanya no Kofu ya say no. I am a forecast them say mo kan mo nya mo kanya mo kanya mo nsem no. I am a forecast them say moma mo ni nkwa ho na Ekufu Addo ne eye ba wo mia ne napomo o ma say no. Enti dum so na mo dem no enye eye dum so physical dum so. Mo energy sector ne gu. And remember, Ekrobiano, so energy sector go our economy go. And internet, they are not able to run the economy because they have been lying to you people for years. They have been lying to you people for years because omni say move to do Jimmy. They also catch and say, oh, John Mahama didn't do so by no, John Mahama solve it do so. Yeba pako for oko parliament or smani pa aso for some ko bompire akosombo. Yeba pako for betina Ghana so oko year o Ghana nyina we tuma solve dum so. Yaba pakufo obetena Ghana so oko asori e wo Ghana nyina yaba pakufo entumi ansolve e dum so right now no dum so no ejinem enwumbre bibie phone lines a mo bete masum 90% of Ghana munyina munikania ebi adem 3 days ebi adem 2 days ebi dem anadwo ya mene mo kase me say o ma say kuro no I am ever say on kan kire mo say mo energy sector no ba wo miane ba Ekufu Addo o ma say no o mo say bibie ni o ma say no. Enti so mo free power sibia ye ho be kire ye no nkofo yo mo jimi ye ka kire mo ye ka muntie ye ka bibia kire mo muntie na mo mankwasiafo anchichide ma wei ejimifo wei hwe mama kire wade. Let me go back to the basics na me kire say asem ya me ka na obi a me twantro story wei e wo hefa. This Ghana web omo na kire Professor Smart Sapon's latest survey predicts Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia as likely winner of the Ghanaian upcoming presidential elections. And yet, Smart Sapon Ekanye. Smart Sapon is a criminal like Eddie. Smart Sapon is a criminal. Now, and to me, this is so if you say, we you Jimmy, MBB there. No. MBB, over Jimmy Bruta. They say Smart Sapon or catch the Ghana for Smart Sapon or try MPP for tro afa ye we election or say oh na ne ma me wunti na oye research no anything insist so who say mo Jimmy Smart Sapon sa ade we no be catch the Ghana for the MPP for oh MPP wini Bawumia 50.2 Smart Sapon kwase asem wo de be kire mu ni Bawumia wini 50.2 na 50.2 na nda form ana omu wie na sa kwase ampan ni e friend Paul Adomo kire no Paul Adomochi, omuye na mukoma Paul Adomochi. Paul Adomochi. Onu kwa Paul Adomochi na Paul Adomochi be gina TV so kwasia onu so ba ye an ye jibiti kwasia fo mpenifo omo hwe nyina agogo kwasia jantire ni ba akwa yakwachi ne se o report about Germany Paul aboa. Paul kwasia omo gina TV so no mo dada mo. Ade akini ato abade wie ya eye Smart Sapon se o na ne maame ewu ne maame wu yentina. Kwasia we gina say ono a PhD holder me catch him some PhD no ene kele wole paper e pe majority of you mo ne na Ghana kwasiafo obi ti Holland catch him some PhD na ekuta mo no nyansa ni ma kwasiafo na mbofu. Majority of PhD holders in Ghana, you are stupid. Majority of you cannot apply common sense. You so because a PhD automatically does not make him intelligent. You need to sit and analyze ahead in the thought process how his delivery is. Kwasiati says Masapo, you say a PhD holder do him answer. Paul Kwasia Kotina law school went to pass law school exams. Kwasia for Jantina for me on TV so we should come and look at PhD. Yeah. Kwasia for and Paul Abua Wujina TV so pa Musa Dan Kwachow. Inti anka ye wobi na nipa be wu a anka Paul Adomo Jantina ni be matesawo. Anka Ghana for wu odwan o se echew ne bukom. Wo Paul inti nka wobi na ye ko wu a anka do wana nta Kwasia te se opuroba abegina ko ku Ghana for adan a Kwasia bi so o ye PhD holder and there Kwasia Penny Smart support TV so say ne maame ewu ntina we nya predictions right. Kwasia semwe o TV wen na sa research na ye wonko na wo ye intend o yare a obi anto aso akwa we research do ye no ono o factor in ballot stuff no ono ne research no odu Ashanti regional no calculate aba e beti egum no dey na maths onim yansa bia ho Eradi Jacobo sa akwa we friend Professor Smart Sapon said the no odu Ashanti regional or yen research na or the ballot stuff na ka ho enti the oya no say we do Ashanti regional no aye calculation okay send your betie gum ma me fan ka eye e de me research no ho enti oba no kuta na adwene dada say ya tie gum 500 ene na me de ka eye de me koka no ho enti obetena wa no abeji almost $2 million for MPP for also okoye research resounding one and no na be mo elections no waje di kwase o nanim fin no abeji na TV so na Paul Jimmy we on pass exams bi on abrabo mu china ka Joyce Bauer call Musa Dankwa the PhDs are doing kwase afo ye the PhD amekufo da chichidie kwase ampanyi we ya third class student economic student ekufo drug addict kwase we Jimmy we anunsuo we oni nemu abedi president enkwasiafo na de maaye Sankuma Kofi Bento Paul Adomoche Kweku Bako Egbert Febo Kwame Sefa Kan enkwasiafo obi oman Kobna Sante girl ya ne ho fia o Maryland Ekua Poki ejimifo we mu nyina tena Ghana say yamfa chichidie we ma Ghana e bia bedu inganma kwasiaba obetena Maryland kwasiaba Ekua Poki o Maryland kwasia ko Ghana so obedu nsupa wo be hu se sa wukunu oto ne pa owu te se otwen a obenya hospital adema ye wonko an ye beje wabo otwen ba wa wenim sembrim se dade sapo kwasia ba obetena Maryland o se ho yentu galam se wo ho na wo kwasia na kwasia tribe TV so ni radio so Ghana ka che Ghana for se ye ne ati abro check kan kwasia asem uti Maryland wure mu wo kan kwasia asem wenim se hokoro sapa so sapo abuofunu mo se ye asantefo ye nkan asem na motetam ho Peace FM wo fin also be do America you are nobody edan a wutim unu ukunu dan mo the basement amahan aboafunu mo betena ade na wontu nkotena Ghana na mejinsa bro kire nye na mejinsa ha ye num nsupa ye jimi mejinsa ha de ye tetetete bonkum ade na wontu nko Ghana odwan ba mo tete radio sine nkwasiade jimi mo kinkan yesi eya obituary stories so be ya ade o gotena radio so a odi obetumi na mo titi radio so ade every time ye ne ya radio a che kwasia wo ti radio so che so onim journalism Ekua Poki o hu fin ene obetena bro kire sra o so ya no pa no do na si akonwa so na odi nku afa oturum o pese o hu ye fe odwan to we gine na betena ni panim hu fin sa pofi kwasia 47 mo na mo tete Ghana kekan kwasia 7 me kai Emra yesi ye de warrant to Kevin Taylor so na kwasiaba we akofra kwasiaba ma te se eye den eye Morris Ampaw ama betra TV so and lawyer in your experience in the law no 20 years in law experience no you see a branch friend Kevin Taylor no Interpol ko fanemra na kwasia na mpo ne nisa ponchiri tie baby oh ekwa that's how dey there wa unim Kevin Taylor dey Interpol din baba on the Siano Sibia judge no any warrant at so no there the yan say the Ghana government no on the US embassy for Nakasa into Mdu Kevin Taylor and one sabro I'm handed over na by tea ya cha be 3 days they can tell about me say hey mo me gan ma hu wo Ekua Poki Abidjan Cleto said the end na odesra po clear na odesra o be so ye kokko kwasia wo hu ade efe wo betena aye de insupa hu e pa ade efe and the utim kuna da sra wachi onya fe oba na wo fin te se ahwaka ase ai Ekua we dey say efia we dey say nya den kura anye wona wa ye law ache enti mu chechire mu nchire Kevin Taylor ye say je ba for say ye mfa Interpol ye dey eya to so warrant o say enu efia enu asem na ye kan enu Kevin Taylor ne nipa bi asebio asem no abe out of jurisdiction enti sia no e wo say etumi ko America ne American government kasa enti me no kase dey acha be 3 days ye den baba so enti wo hwe experience na e be den no metumi na so na say so American citizen kura and the Interpol there omunim say wabokro no ade de warrant ato so nko ade Ghana there so mutum man ba so any ate ase mumunya mu ye dantra for ma mo ya aboatwe mo jimi aboa oba front say wabetena brochire o se mu ode meka so be kofi meka so ukunu meka so kotena wuranim wabetena ha betufo kwase aba ene dia wo se nkofo mbra school abrochire ukurom baby awufri nipa guo se moa obetena ha ye asantefo ye MPP fo odwan oba ha baby wa han be bo jantra kwotena hospital a o wo se odwan no na oba to be to nchen na obi anto onko one room ukro ni nenti se woma kwase abema no da mpa so hwe wo obo jantra beje paper ti krom ha mo bodam ohun na mo titi radios na mo jinsa Ghana na no ano no because kwase aba upia bontina them lady dear lady Jimmy mo ayila la da mo ku TV so mai se moama ye kan sama Ghana upe me krama aduane odi kura e o Ghana na enso mentumi fa mfidi me krama na wote saa edan fo na akwa na sini mo mu ehye tokuro bi mu teta ho ka ho na ye ne ye lady na ye de Peace FM kwase aba so betra di pam ye dide na me dwin se mo ba anka mo baba me ye DC assembly man na me dwin se mo ba bo me din na nka me be se mo ye mema ne ma anka mo ba krom a na mo age mic na mo bo me din ka bo se krom o captains wa ha oba be se bonku mu din anana nje won ya lady no me dwin se nka be political show wona nka me see edwuma bi ni wo betuma ya wa che pan komforto edwuma be na we share and the pokre na also na pa na do nesi akonwa tiri so na do for asrem ade am pesa me ye fe na me kotena TV so Ghana fo hu se meti abrochire pete ekua poki pete ufin we are not going anywhere. We will check the system. We will make sure Jandam never rises up again. Any journalist, any Ghanaian on social media, on traditional TV, radio, whichever platform, you have the right to talk about John Mahama. You have the right to criticize the John Mahama administration. But make sure whatever you say, you have the facts. You have every right to use any word or whatever. But make sure whatever you say about John Mahama, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the John Mahama administration, you have facts backing it. I swear to God, anybody who dares, whether in Ghana, out of Ghana, tries to use their platform to denigrate people without facts, this platform will die with you. Until we make sure you are buried, we will not stop. I have started my 2025 attack on Samson Ayinini until he proves to Ghanaians that I am not credible. He will not have peace. He has murdered sleep, and he will sleep no more. As far as we are here, and all the people on my platform who are willing to be honest, speak the truth. Let me tell you, when the NDC government goes wrong, I will sit here and let them understand. When John Mahama decides not to do what is right, I will sit here and let him understand. But there's one thing that I want you to remember every time. I am not going to look on for anybody to use Jandam. Mema obia ho kwan manem fa atro and other Ghana for. Mema obia ho kwan manem fa atro and deceive Ghana for. Mema obia ho kwan manem fa atro and good John Mahama ni NDC for anybody say. You will protect the NDC, you will protect the government. We will make sure that the right things are done. You have the right to build a platform. I don't have a problem. You have the right to criticize John Mahama. I don't have a problem with it. You have the right to be free to speak your mind. But make sure whatever you are coming up with, you have facts to support it. No room for Jandam. Jandam is dead.